The gym lights flickered as 12-year-old Kayla Bennett stepped forward to practice her solo for the talent show. Tyler Bennett sat in the third row of bleachers, his phone balanced on his knee as he graded papers between watching his daughter. She wore her favorite red dress, the one her mother had bought her before everything changed. Kayla opened her mouth to sing, then stumbled. Tyler looked up just as his daughter's knees buckled. The sheet music scattered across the polished floor like fallen leaves. Her body crumpled in a heap of red fabric and dark braids. Kayla. Tyler vaulted over the bleacher railing, his papers flying everywhere. He reached her in seconds, gathering her limp form into his arms. Her brown skin had gone ashen, lips tinged with blue. The other parents crowded around, their voices a distant buzz. Someone called 911. Tyler pressed his fingers to Kayla's neck, feeling for a pulse. It fluttered weakly under his touch, irregular and frightening. "Baby, wake up. Please wake up." His voice cracked. 2 years ago, he'd held his wife Michelle the same way as cancer stole her last breath. He couldn't lose Kayla too. She was all he had left. The ambulance arrived within minutes. Tyler climbed in beside the stretcher, holding Kayla's small hand. Her eyes fluttered open briefly. "Dad." Her voice was barely a whisper. "I'm here, sweetheart. I'm right here." The emergency room at St. Mary's Hospital smelled like antiseptic and fear. Tyler paced the waiting area, his carpenter's boots leaving scuff marks on the white tile. He'd come straight from teaching his history class to Kayla's rehearsal, still wearing his button-down shirt and khakis, now wrinkled and stained with sweat. His phone buzzed. His mother. "Tyler, what happened?" "The school called me." "She collapsed, Mom. They're running tests." He rubbed his eyes, exhaustion pulling at every muscle. Between teaching full-time and taking weekend carpentry jobs to make ends meet, he barely slept. But none of that mattered now. "I'm coming down there." "No, stay with Dad. I'll call you when I know something." 3 hours passed like 3 years. Tyler watched other families come and go, some crying with relief, others with grief. He prayed silently, bargaining with God the way he had when Michelle got sick. "Take anything else, just not my daughter." "Mr. Bennett?" A doctor in blue scrubs approached, her expression serious. "I'm Dr. Patel. We need to talk about Kayla." Tyler's heart stopped. "Is she okay?" "She's stable now, but we found something concerning." Dr. Patel gestured to a quiet corner. "Your daughter has a congenital heart defect. The ventricle wall is deteriorating. She needs surgery soon, within the next 3 weeks, or—" She paused. "The prognosis isn't good without intervention." The words hit Tyler like physical blows. "Heart surgery. 3 weeks. Not good. What kind of surgery? What does it cost?" The practical questions came automatically, even as his mind reeled. Open heart surgery to repair the ventricle. With the specialists required and post-operative care, you're looking at around $300,000. $300,000. Tyler made $42,000 a year teaching. His carpentry jobs brought in maybe another 15. He had some savings, about $8,000 carefully set aside. Michelle's medical bills had drained everything else. His insurance through the school covered 80% of basic procedures, but Dr. Patel was already shaking her head. "This type of surgery requires specialists not in your network. The out-of-pocket costs would still be substantial, probably close to $200,000 even with insurance." $200,000. He might as well have said $2 million. "How long does she have?" Tyler's voice sounded hollow. 3 weeks, maybe 4. After that, the risk of heart failure increases exponentially. Dr. Patel's hand touched his shoulder. "I'm sorry. I know this is overwhelming. Our financial counselor can discuss payment plans, medical loans." Tyler nodded numbly. "Can I see her?" Kayla lay in a hospital bed, hooked up to monitors that beeped steadily. She looked so small against the white sheets, so fragile. Her eyes opened when he entered. "Dad, I'm sorry about the show." Tyler's throat tightened. His daughter was apologizing while fighting for her life. "Don't worry about the show, baby. We just need to focus on getting you better." "Am I really sick?" Those big brown eyes, so much like Michelle's, looked at him with complete trust. "You need some help with your heart, but the doctors are going to fix it." He smoothed her braids back from her forehead the way Michelle used to do. "Will it hurt?" "I won't let anything hurt you." The lie came easily, automatic. He'd move mountains, sell everything, work 3 jobs if he had to. But even as he made the promise, reality crushed down on him. $300,000. 3 weeks. How could he possibly save her? That night, after Kayla finally fell asleep and the nurses assured him they'd call if anything changed, Tyler sat in his truck in the hospital parking lot. The September air was cool, autumn creeping into the edges of summer. He put his head on the steering wheel and let himself break down just for a moment. Michelle would have known what to do. She always knew what to do. But Michelle was gone, buried in Riverside Cemetery under a simple headstone that read, "Beloved wife and mother." Now Kayla might join her and Tyler would be completely alone. His phone buzzed again. A reminder about tomorrow's parent-teacher night at Riverside Elementary. He'd completely forgotten. As a teacher, he was expected to be there, meeting with other parents about the upcoming school year initiatives. The new school board director was supposed to introduce some education funding program. Tyler almost deleted the reminder. How could he smile and shake hands and pretend everything was fine when his daughter was dying? But he needed this job. Needed the insurance even if it wasn't enough. Needed the stability. He'd go, put on a brave face for an hour, then come back to the hospital. He drove home in a daze, the familiar streets of his neighborhood blurring past. The small 3-bedroom house looked dark and empty. Michelle's garden had gone to weeds after she died. He kept meaning to fix it but never found the time. Inside, everything reminded him of happier days. Kayla's artwork on the refrigerator. Family photos on the mantle. Michelle's book still on the nightstand, bookmark holding her place forever. Tyler pulled out his laptop and started searching. Medical loans, crowdfunding, charity organizations, anything. The numbers swam before his tired eyes. Even if he got approved for loans, the monthly payments would be impossible. He'd lose the house. He thought about calling his parents, but they were living on retirement savings. His in-laws were in the same boat. Michelle's sister lived in California with 3 kids of her own, barely making it. There had to be a way. There had to be. By 3 in the morning, Tyler had filled out a dozen loan applications and started a crowdfunding page. He hated asking for help, hated the idea of strangers' pity, but pride meant nothing compared to Kayla's life. He fell asleep at the kitchen table, his head on his folded arms, and dreamed of Michelle telling him everything would be okay. But when he woke at dawn to his alarm, she was still gone and Kayla was still dying. The next day passed in a blur of teaching classes while his mind was at the hospital. His students noticed his distraction. His colleague and best friend Patrick, who taught math next door, pulled him aside during lunch. "Tyler, what's going on? You look terrible." Tyler told him. "Everything." The words poured out in the empty classroom while students laughed and played outside. Patrick's dark face creased with concern. "Man, I'm so sorry. What can I do? I can lend you some money, not much, but..." "Thanks, Pat. I appreciate it." Tyler knew Patrick had his own family to support. "I'll figure something out." But would he? Time was ticking away, each hour bringing Kayla closer to the edge. That evening, Tyler forced himself to shower, change into clean clothes, and drive to the school for parent-teacher night. He moved through the motions like a puppet, shaking hands, nodding at conversations he barely heard. The gym where Kayla had collapsed yesterday was now set up with tables and refreshment stations. Parents mingled, discussing fundraisers and sports programs. Tyler grabbed a cup of coffee and tried to look engaged. "Good evening, everyone." Principal Morrison's voice boomed through the microphone. "Thank you for coming tonight. We have someone very special to introduce. Our new school board director has generously offered to fund several educational initiatives this year. Please welcome Ms. Brianna Cole." Tyler looked up as a woman in a blue business suit walked to the front. His coffee cup slipped from his fingers, hitting the floor with a splash. Those eyes. That face. 15 years older, more polished, radiating success and confidence, but unmistakably her. Brianna Cole. His first love. The woman who'd broken his heart in college and disappeared without explanation. She scanned the crowd as she spoke about education funding and community investment. Then her gaze landed on Tyler, standing frozen with coffee pooling around his feet. Her confident smile faltered. Their eyes met across the crowded gym, and for a moment 15 years vanished. They were 21 again, in love and planning a future together, before everything fell apart. Have you ever faced a moment where your past and present collided in the most unexpected way, when you were at your lowest point? If this story resonates with you, please subscribe and comment below what you think will happen when Tyler and Brianna finally speak after all these years. Your support means everything. Brianna recovered first, returning her attention to the presentation, but Tyler saw the slight tremor in her hands as she adjusted the microphone. Her voice remained steady as she outlined the new scholarship programs and technology grants for Riverside Elementary. Tyler barely heard the words. His mind spun with questions. What was Brianna doing here? How had she become a CEO? Why had she left him all those years ago without even a goodbye? The presentation ended to polite applause. Parents swarmed Brianna with questions and gratitude. Tyler considered leaving, but Patrick appeared at his elbow. "Dude, you okay? You look like you've seen a ghost." Something like that. Tyler watched Brianna laugh at something Principal Morrison said. She looked successful, happy, completely different from the struggling college student he'd loved. They'd met sophomore year at State University. Tyler had been working 3 part-time jobs to keep his scholarship, studying education because he loved working with kids. Brianna had been a business major, brilliant and ambitious, but also kind and funny. They'd fallen hard and fast, spending every free moment together. Then, right before graduation, she'd vanished. No phone calls returned, no texts answered. He'd gone to her apartment and found it empty. Her roommate said Brianna had transferred to some fancy business school in New York. No forwarding address. No explanation. It had nearly destroyed him. He'd loved her completely, had been planning to propose after graduation. Instead, he'd spent months trying to understand what he'd done wrong. Then he'd met Michelle at his first teaching job. Sweet, steady Michelle, who'd helped him heal and taught him to love again. They'd built a good life together, had Kayla, were happy. Until cancer stole it all away. Now here was Brianna, walking back into his life on the worst day he'd had since Michelle's funeral. "Tyler?" Her voice, slightly deeper than he remembered but still achingly familiar, came from behind him. He turned slowly. Up close he could see the changes time had made. Fine lines around her eyes, silver threaded through her black hair, an expensive watch on her wrist. But her smile, uncertain and hopeful, was exactly the same. "Brianna." His voice came out rougher than intended. "I can't believe it's you. When I saw the school roster, I saw your name listed as a teacher, but I thought it might be someone else." She twisted her hands together, a nervous gesture he remembered. "How are you?" How was he? His daughter was dying, he was drowning in debt, he hadn't slept properly in 2 years, and the woman who'd broken his heart was standing in front of him asking casual questions. "I'm fine. Congratulations on your success." He gestured vaguely at the presentation materials. "So, that's impressive." "Tyler, She glanced around at the other parents nearby. "Can we talk somewhere private?" "I don't think that's a good idea." He needed to get back to the hospital, back to Kayla. This trip down memory lane was the last thing he could handle right now. "Please. I owe you an explanation. I've owed you one for 15 years. Patrick caught his eye and nodded encouragingly. Tyler sighed. Maybe getting closure would help somehow, though he doubted it. "Fine. The classroom down the hall is empty." They walked in silence, the familiar hallway feeling surreal. Tyler's classroom was at the end, his name on the door. He'd taught here for 8 years, first with Michelle visiting during lunch, then alone after she got sick, and now as a widower trying to save his daughter. He flipped on the lights. Student desks sat in neat rows, history posters covering the walls. A photo of Kayla in her red dress sat on his desk, taken at last year's talent show. She'd won second place singing a song Michelle had loved. Brianna saw the photo. "Is that your daughter?" "She's beautiful. Her name is Kayla. She's 12. Tyler leaned against his desk, arms crossed. "You wanted to talk?" Brianna took a breath. "I'm sorry. For leaving the way I did. I was young and scared and made a terrible mistake." "That's it? You disappeared from my life, and all you have to say is you were scared." Anger bubbled up, surprising in its intensity. He thought he'd gotten over this years ago. "My father found out about us. About how serious we were getting." Brianna's voice dropped. "He said if I didn't leave you and transfer to Columbia Business School immediately, he'd make sure you lost your scholarship. He had connections on the board. He would have done it, Tyler. He would have destroyed your future." The words hit Tyler like cold water. "What?" "He wanted me to marry someone from his business circle, someone who could help his company. You were a scholarship student working multiple jobs just to survive. He called you unsuitable." Her voice broke. "I was 21 and stupid, and I believed him when he said he'd ruin you. So I left to protect you." Tyler processed this. All these years, he'd thought Brianna had simply decided he wasn't good enough. That she'd wanted more than a future teacher could provide. Instead, she'd been trying to protect him. "You could have told me. We could have figured it out together. I know that now. I was a coward." Tears gathered in her eyes. "I thought about you every day. Wondered what you were doing if you were happy. Then about 8 years ago, I hired a private investigator. I found out you'd gotten married, had a daughter. You looked happy in the photos he found. So I left it alone. My wife died 2 years ago. Cancer. Tyler didn't know why he told her. Maybe because the grief was still raw, still with him every moment. Tyler, I'm so sorry. Brianna's hand reached out, then dropped. I saw you weren't wearing a ring, but I hoped. Yeah, well, hope doesn't cure cancer. He rubbed his face. Look, Brianna, I appreciate the explanation. I do. But it was 15 years ago. We're different people now. You've clearly done well for yourself, and I'm just trying to get through each day. Are you okay? You look exhausted. I'm fine. The automatic lie. He'd gotten good at it over the past 2 years. Tyler. She moved closer, studying his face. Something's wrong. What is it? Maybe it was the exhaustion. Maybe it was seeing someone who'd once known him so well. Maybe it was just the crushing weight of everything finally breaking through. Kayla collapsed yesterday during rehearsal. Right out there in the gym. He pointed toward the door. She has a heart defect. Needs surgery within 3 weeks or she'll die. The surgery costs $300,000 and I have about $8,000 in savings. So yeah, something's wrong. The words hung in the air between them. Brianna's face went pale. Oh my God. Tyler, I'm so sorry. That's horrible. She pulled out her phone. What hospital? Who's her doctor? Why? Tyler's defenses went up. There's nothing anyone can do. I'm applying for loans, started a crowdfunding page. I'll figure something out. No, you won't. Not in 3 weeks. Brianna was typing rapidly on her phone. But I can help. My foundation funds medical expenses for families in need. This is exactly what we do. I don't need charity. Pride, stupid pride, made him say it even though Kayla's life hung in the balance. It's not charity. It's help. There's a difference. Brianna looked up from her phone. Tyler, let me do this. Please. You once told me that accepting help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Remember? When I was too proud to let you pay for dinner even though I was broke. He did remember. They'd been dating for 3 months and Brianna had refused to let him pay for anything, working herself to exhaustion with multiple jobs. He'd finally convinced her that relationships meant supporting each other. That was different. No, it wasn't. Tyler, your daughter needs surgery. I have the resources to make that happen. Don't let pride kill her. The blunt words cut through his resistance. Brianna was right. This wasn't about him or his ego or old heartbreak. This was about Kayla's life. The Cole Medical Foundation will cover all of Kayla's expenses. Surgery, hospital stay, medication, follow-up care, everything. Brianna's voice was firm. I'll call the hospital tomorrow and handle the paperwork. You just focus on being there for your daughter. I can't let you do that. But the protest was weak, crumbling. You're not letting me. I'm doing it. She smiled, gentle but determined. Besides, I have something else to offer. My company is renovating a new office building downtown. We need custom carpentry work, high-end stuff. I heard you still do carpentry on weekends. How did you know that? Small town. People talk. Brianna pulled out a business card. The project pays $60,000 for 3 months of work. It's yours if you want it. $60,000. That would rebuild his savings, create a buffer for emergencies, maybe even let him work 1 job instead of 2. Tyler looked at the card, then at Brianna. Her expression was open, hopeful, with none of the pity he dreaded. Why are you doing this? Because I can. Because 15 years ago, someone I loved needed my protection and I handled it badly. Because your daughter deserves every chance at life. Because kindness matters, Tyler. You taught me that. He thought about Kayla, alone in that hospital bed. Thought about Michelle, who would want him to accept help for their daughter's sake. Thought about all the years he'd spent being too proud to ask for assistance, working himself to exhaustion rather than admitting he needed support. Okay. The word came out quiet but sure. Thank you. Really. Thank you. Relief flooded Brianna's face. I'll call St. Mary's first thing tomorrow. What's Dr. Patel's direct number? As Tyler gave her the information, something shifted between them. Not romance, not yet. But a bridge being rebuilt, connection reforming. I should get back to the hospital, Tyler said after they'd exchanged phone numbers. Visiting hours end at 10. Can I come with you? I'd like to meet Kayla if that's okay. Tyler considered. Kayla would probably wonder who this mysterious woman was. But maybe having someone else there, someone who could actually help, would ease his daughter's fears. Sure. But fair warning, she asks a lot of questions. Brianna laughed, and the sound transported Tyler back 15 years to lazy Sunday mornings and late-night study sessions. I can handle questions. They drove separately to St. Mary's. The hospital was quieter at night, hallways dimmed, nurses speaking in hushed tones. Tyler led Brianna to Kayla's room on the cardiac floor. Kayla was awake, reading a book with her overhead light on. She looked up when they entered, her gaze immediately curious about the well-dressed stranger. "Hey baby. How are you feeling?" Tyler kissed her forehead. "Bored. The nurse said I have to stay in bed for observation." Kayla marked her page and set the book aside. "Who's this?" "This is Miss Cole. She's an old friend and she's going to help with your surgery." "Really?" Hope licked Kayla's face. "So I can get fixed?" "You can get fixed," Brianna confirmed, moving closer to the bed. "I run a foundation that helps families with medical bills. Your dad told me about your heart and we're going to take care of everything." "That's amazing." Kayla looked between them. "Were you and Dad really friends?" "He doesn't talk about his college days much." "We were very good friends," Brianna said diplomatically. "What are you reading?" The conversation flowed naturally after that. Brianna asked about Kayla's favorite subjects, her hobbies, the talent show she'd been practicing for. Tyler watched his daughter come alive, animated and excited despite the monitors and 4 lines. After half an hour, a nurse came in to check vitals and suggested Kayla get some rest. Tyler tucked her in, promising to return first thing in the morning. In the parking lot, Brianna walked him to his truck. The September night had cooled further, stars visible above the city lights. "She's wonderful, Tyler. You've done an incredible job raising her. Michelle did most of the hard work. I'm just trying not to mess it up." He unlocked his truck but didn't get in. "Brianna, I don't know how to thank you for this. You're saving her life." "You don't need to thank me. Just let her grow up healthy and happy. That's thanks enough." Brianna hugged him, brief but warm. "I'll call you tomorrow after I talk to the hospital. And seriously, think about that carpentry job. No pressure, but the offer stands." "I'll think about it." He would say yes. He knew he would. Pride was expensive and he couldn't afford it anymore. Driving home, Tyler felt something he hadn't felt in 2 years. Hope. Real, tangible hope that maybe, just maybe, everything would be okay. His phone rang as he pulled into his driveway. "Patrick. So, what happened with the mystery woman? You two looked intense." "She's Brianna. From college. It's complicated." "The Brianna? The one who broke your heart and disappeared?" "Yeah. Turns out she had good reasons." Tyler filled Patrick in on everything. The scholarship threat, the foundation, the job offer. Patrick whistled. "Man, that's heavy. But hey, Kayla gets her surgery. That's what matters." "Yeah. That's what matters." Tyler hung up and sat in his dark truck, looking at his empty house. Life had a strange way of bringing people back when you needed them most. Brianna Cole was proof of that. Now he just had to figure out what it meant, having his first love reappear just when his world was falling apart. Inside, he updated Kayla's crowdfunding page with the news that funding had been secured through a private foundation. The messages of support flooded in, people relieved and happy. Tyler read each one, grateful for the kindness of strangers and the unexpected grace of second chances. Tomorrow, Kayla's surgery would be scheduled. Tomorrow, he'd accept Brianna's job offer. Tomorrow, he'd start rebuilding. But tonight, for the first time in 2 years, Tyler Bennett went to bed and slept dreamlessly, peacefully, without the crushing weight of impossible problems. Hope was a powerful thing. True to her word, Brianna called Dr. Patel at 8 the next morning. Tyler was already at the hospital, having arrived at dawn to sit with Kayla during breakfast. His phone rang just as Kayla was complaining about hospital oatmeal. "Tyler, it's handled." Brianna's voice was crisp, professional. "Dr. Patel will call you within the hour to schedule Kayla's surgery. The Cole Medical Foundation has transferred the necessary funds. Everything is covered." Tyler's hand tightened on the phone. "Just like that. Just like that. The foundation exists for exactly this purpose. I've also connected Dr. Patel with Dr. Sarah Johnson, one of the best pediatric cardiac surgeons in the country. She happens to be in the city this week for a conference, and she's agreed to consult on Kayla's case." "Brianna, I don't know what to say." The weight that had been crushing his chest for 3 days suddenly lifted. "Say you'll bring Kayla by the office building site this afternoon. I want to show you the carpentry project in person." Her tone softened. "If you're interested." Tyler looked at his daughter, who was watching him with curious eyes. "I'm interested. What time?" 2 o'clock? I'll text you the address." After they hung up, Kayla set down her spoon. "Dad, is Miss Cole your girlfriend?" Tyler nearly choked on his coffee. "What? No. We're just old friends. She's pretty, and she's helping us a lot. Mom would have liked her." The casual mention of Michelle made Tyler's throat tight. Kayla rarely talked about her mother, the loss still too big for her 12-year-old heart to fully process. Yeah, baby. I think Mom would have liked her. Dr. Patel arrived an hour later with another doctor in tow. Dr. Johnson was a short woman with gray hair and intelligent eyes. She shook Tyler's hand firmly. Mr. Bennett, I've reviewed Kayla's scans. The good news is we caught this in time. The surgery is complex, but her age and overall health work in her favor. I'd like to schedule the operation for next Friday if you're comfortable with that timeline. Next Friday. 8 days away. Tyler had mentally prepared for weeks of waiting, bureaucracy, and financial hurdles. Instead, Kayla would be in surgery in just over a week. Yes, absolutely. Dr. Johnson spent the next hour explaining the procedure to both Tyler and Kayla, using simple diagrams and language a 12-year-old could understand. She answered Kayla's questions patiently, never talking down to her. Will I have a big scar? Kayla asked. You will, but it will fade over time. And you know what? Scars are proof that you're strong, that you survived something hard. Dr. Johnson smiled. I have a scar from when I was about your age. Broke my leg falling out of a tree. Now it's just a faint line that reminds me I'm tougher than I think. Kayla seemed satisfied with that answer. After Dr. Johnson left, she looked at Tyler. I'm scared, Dad. Me too, baby. But we're going to get through this together, okay? You, me, and the best doctors in the country. That afternoon, Tyler signed Kayla out on a day pass. The nurses had agreed she could leave for a few hours as long as she stayed calm and didn't overexert herself. She changed into comfortable clothes, a bright green shirt and jeans, and they drove downtown to the address Brianna had sent. The construction site was in the revitalized warehouse district. Scaffolding covered a 5-story brick building, windows being replaced with modern energy-efficient glass. A sign out front read Cole Enterprises, opening spring 2027. Brianna met them at the entrance, wearing jeans, work boots, and a white button-down with the sleeves rolled up. Tyler had never seen her dressed so casually during her business school days. She'd always worn professional clothes, even to study sessions. Welcome. She handed them both hard hats. Safety first. Come on, I'll give you the tour. The ground floor was gutted, walls torn down to create an open concept space. Exposed brick contrasted with new steel beams. Electrical wiring hung from the ceiling where light fixtures would eventually go. This will be our main office floor. Reception here, conference rooms along this wall, open workspace in the center. Brianna gestured as she walked. But what I need custom work for is upstairs. Follow me. They climbed temporary stairs to the second floor. This level had been divided into individual offices, each with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. These are executive offices. I want custom built-ins for each one. Bookshelves, desks, storage solutions, all matching but tailored to each space. She ran her hand along a window frame. The third floor will have a library and employee lounge. I want custom reading nooks, window seats, shelving for about 2,000 books. Tyler's mind was already working, visualizing the projects. This was the kind of detailed carpentry work he loved, combining function and artistry. What's your timeline? 3 months. I have other contractors handling the major construction, but I've held off on the finish work specifically for someone who could do it justice. She glanced at him. Patrick mentioned you're incredible with woodwork. That your furniture pieces are museum quality. Patrick talks too much. But Tyler smiled. His best friend had apparently been doing reconnaissance on his behalf. He cares about you. So do I, for what it's worth. Kayla had wandered to the windows, looking out at the city. This is so high up. I bet you can see everything from here. Wait until we get to the top floor. Brianna led them up more stairs. This is my favorite part. The 5th floor was a single large space with skylights and windows on all sides. Natural light flooded in, making the raw space glow. This will be a community space. Free for local nonprofits to use for meetings, events, whatever they need. But I want something special here. Brianna walked to the center of the room. A stage. Custom built, with seating that can be rearranged for different uses. Acoustic panels on the walls. Top quality lighting. I want this to be a place where kids like Kayla can perform, where artists can showcase their work, where the community can gather. Tyler looked around, seeing the potential. You're building a performance space into your office building? Why not? Cole Enterprises makes money so we can give back. This is part of that. She looked at Kayla. What do you think? Would you want to perform here someday? Kayla's eyes were huge. Really? On a real stage? A real stage built just for people like you who have something to share with the world. Tyler watched his daughter's face light up with joy, and something shifted in his chest. This woman who'd broken his heart 15 years ago was now giving his daughter hope and dreams beyond just surviving surgery. "I want the job," he said quietly. "If the offer still stands." "It stands?" Brianna pulled out a folder from her bag. "Contract, payment schedule, materials budget. Look it over, negotiate anything you want changed. I want this to be fair." They sat on upturned buckets while Kayla explored the empty space, her footsteps echoing. Tyler read through the contract carefully. The terms were generous. $60,000 over 3 months, half paid up front, the rest on completion. Material costs covered separately. Full creative control over designs, subject to her approval. "This is more than fair. It's overly generous. I pay for quality. Your work is worth it." Brianna watched Kayla, who was singing softly to herself, testing the acoustics. "She has a beautiful voice. She gets that from Michelle. I can't carry a tune to save my life." Tyler signed the contract, his carpenter's hands familiar with the weight of pens and promises. "When do I start?" "Whenever you're ready. The main construction finishes in 2 weeks. After that, the space is yours." She hesitated. "Tyler, about Michelle. What was she like?" The question surprised him. Most people avoided mentioning his late wife, afraid of causing pain. But Brianna's curiosity seemed genuine, kind. She was steady. Calm. The kind of person who made everyone around her feel safe. Tyler stared at his signed name on the contract. "She taught 2nd grade. Loved gardening, terrible at cooking, could organize anything. When she got sick, she faced it with grace I couldn't have managed. Right up until the end." "How long were you married?" 10 years. We met when I started teaching at Riverside. She was in the classroom next door. Took me 6 months to work up the courage to ask her out." He smiled at the memory. "She said yes immediately. Told me later she'd been waiting for me to ask since the first week." "She sounds wonderful." "She was." Tyler looked up, meeting Brianna's eyes. "I loved her. Completely. She wasn't a consolation prize after you left." "I never thought that." Brianna's voice was gentle. "I'm glad you found someone who loved you the way you deserved. I'm just sorry she's gone." Kayla returned, slightly out of breath. "Dad, can we get lunch? I'm starving." They found a diner 2 blocks away. Kayla ordered a burger and fries, delighted to eat real food instead of hospital meals. Brianna asked about school, friends, favorite movies. Tyler watched them talk, seeing how naturally they connected. "So Miss Cole, why did you come back to this city?" Kayla asked, dipping a fry in ketchup. "If you're a big CEO, couldn't you be anywhere?" Smart question. "Honestly, I missed it here. I spent 15 years in New York building my company, but it never felt like home. When I had the chance to open a regional office, I chose this city specifically." She glanced at Tyler. "Some roots go deep." After lunch, they returned Kayla to the hospital. She was tired, the outing having used up her limited energy. Tyler tucked her in for a nap, promising to return after he taught his afternoon classes. In the parking lot, Brianna walked him to his truck again. This was becoming a habit. "Thank you for taking the job. I know it was about more than just money." "It is about money," Tyler admitted, "but also about doing work I love. You gave me both. That's rare." "I have a confession." Brianna leaned against his truck. "When I decided to open an office here, I looked you up. Found out you were teaching at Riverside. The carpentry job isn't charity. I genuinely need someone with your skills. But the location, the timing, it was all deliberate. I wanted a reason to see you again." Tyler absorbed this. "What? After 15 years, why come back?" "Because I never stopped thinking about you. Because I built a successful company and made millions of dollars, but I was never truly happy. Because my father died 3 years ago, and his last words were regrets about the things he'd forced me to do. Including leaving you." She met his eyes. "I'm not expecting anything. I know you lost your wife, that you're focused on Kayla. I just needed you to know I came back intentionally, not accidentally." The honesty was refreshing. Tyler had spent 15 years wondering, imagining, hurting. Now here was Brianna laying everything bare. "I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything. Just let me help with Kayla, let me give you good work, and maybe we can be friends again. That's all I'm asking for." Friends. Tyler could do friends. Especially with someone who was saving his daughter's life and offering him meaningful work. "Okay. Friends." Brianna's smile was bright, genuine. "Friends." She drove away in a sleek car Tyler couldn't even name. He stood in the parking lot, contract folder in hand, and realized his life had completely changed in less than 24 hours. His phone buzzed. Patrick. Dude, did you take the job? I did. Start in 2 weeks. That's amazing. Though I'm losing you as my weekend carpentry buddy. Who's going to help me build my deck now? You'll survive. Besides, with what this job pays, I can afford to hire someone to help you. They laughed, and Tyler felt lighter than he had in years. Hope, apparently, was contagious. That evening, Tyler's parents came to visit Kayla. They brought flowers and cards from the neighbors. Everyone had heard about the collapse and wanted to send their love. His mother, Patricia, pulled him aside while his father played cards with Kayla. Tyler, honey, where did this foundation money come from? You said you'd applied for help, but this was so fast. He explained about Brianna, the reunion, everything. His mother listened intently, her brown face thoughtful. Is she married? This Brianna? Mom? I'm just asking. She sounds very generous. And you mentioned she's funding the surgery personally? Through her foundation, yes. Aha. His mother's knowing look made Tyler groan. What? I'm just saying, a successful woman who comes back to town and immediately helps her college ex-boyfriend sounds like someone who cares. We're just friends, Mom? Sure you are. She patted his arm. Your father and I started as just friends too. Look how that turned out. 42 years of marriage. Tyler chose not to argue. His mother was impossible when she got an idea in her head. Instead, he joined the card game, letting Kayla's laughter wash over him. Later, after his parents left and Kayla slept, Tyler sat in the hospital room and thought about friendship. About second chances. About how life could change in a heartbeat for better or worse. Brianna Cole was back in his life, and whether he was ready for it or not, things would never be the same. The next week passed in a blur of preparation. Dr. Johnson scheduled additional tests for Kayla, all covered by the Cole Medical Foundation. Tyler continued teaching but arranged for substitute coverage for the 2 weeks following surgery. Patrick volunteered to handle his classes, waving away Tyler's gratitude. That's what friends do, man. Besides, I've always wanted to teach history. How hard can it be? My students will eat you alive. I taught middle school math for 10 years. I've survived worse. Brianna came by the hospital every evening after work, bringing books and games for Kayla. She'd arrive in her business clothes, then kick off her heels and sit cross-legged on the floor while Kayla beat her at card games. Tyler watched these interactions with mixed feelings. Gratitude certainly. Kayla had been withdrawn and scared before Brianna's visit started. Now she was animated, talking about the future, making plans for after surgery. But there was something else too. A warmth in his chest when Brianna laughed. A flutter when their hands accidentally touched passing cards. Feelings he'd thought died with Michelle. On Thursday evening, 4 days before the surgery, Brianna arrived with takeout from Kayla's favorite Thai restaurant. The nurses had given permission for outside food as a treat. Pad Thai with extra peanuts as requested. Brianna set up the containers on the rolling table. And spring rolls because everyone needs spring rolls. They ate together, the three of them, in Kayla's hospital room. The cardiac monitors beeped steadily in the background, but for a moment, it felt almost normal. Like a family dinner. Kayla monopolized the conversation, telling Brianna about her friends at school, the latest drama in 6th grade, her plans to audition for the school musical next semester if she was healthy enough. When I'm recovered, will I be able to sing again? Like without getting tired? Dr. Johnson had visited that morning to answer final questions. Dr. Johnson says after recovery, you'll be able to do everything other kids do. Maybe even more because your heart will be stronger than it was before. So I could run? I've never been able to run long distances. I always got too tired. You'll be able to run, Tyler confirmed. Track team, soccer, whatever you want to try. Kayla grinned. Maybe I'll do cross country. That would be cool. After dinner, Kayla wanted to watch a movie. She chose an animated film about a girl who went on an adventure to save her family. Tyler settled into the uncomfortable chair that had become his second home, while Brianna sat on the foot of the bed. Halfway through the movie, Kayla fell asleep, her head on the pillow, one hand clutching the stuffed bear the nurses had given her. Tyler gently covered her with a blanket. She's exhausted, Brianna whispered. All the tests this week. Yeah. But she's handling it better than I expected. Tyler turned off the movie but left the soft overhead light on. Better than I'm handling it, honestly. You're terrified. That's normal. I keep thinking about all the things that could go wrong. The surgery is risky even with the best surgeon. What if something happens? What if I lose her too? Brianna moved to sit in the other chair, the one Tyler's mother usually occupied. What if everything goes right? What if she wakes up with a fixed heart and a full life ahead of her? I want to believe that. I'm trying to. They sat in comfortable silence, watching Kayla sleep. Finally, Brianna spoke quietly. Can I ask you something? About Michelle? Sure. Do you still love her? The question wasn't accusatory or jealous. Just curious, gentle. I'll always love her. She's Kayla's mother. She was my partner for 10 years. But she's gone. Tyler chose his words carefully. Grief is strange. Some days I miss her so much I can barely breathe. Other days I go hours without thinking about her and then I feel guilty. There's no handbook for this. My father died 3 years ago. I hated him for what he did to us, to me, but I also loved him. He was my dad. Brianna's voice was distant. At his funeral I cried, but I wasn't sure if it was grief or relief or just exhaustion from carrying around anger for so long. Did you make peace with him before he died? No. He was too proud to apologize and I was too stubborn to forgive. Now I'll never know if we could have fixed things. She looked at Tyler. That's why I came back. I didn't want to carry more regrets. Life is too short and we never know how much time we have. Tyler understood. Watching Michelle deteriorate over months, knowing each day might be the last, had taught him about time's fragility. About saying important things before it was too late. I'm glad you came back, he said honestly. Not just because of the help with Kayla, though that's huge, but because I needed closure too. I spent years wondering what I'd done wrong, why I wasn't enough. Knowing it wasn't about me, that you were trying to protect me, that helps. You were always enough, Tyler. More than enough. I was the one who wasn't strong enough to fight for us. We were kids. 21 years old, trying to figure out our lives. Maybe it wasn't supposed to work out then. Maybe. Brianna smiled sadly. But what about now? The question hung in the air. Tyler didn't have an answer. His life was complicated, focused entirely on Kayla's survival. Romance felt impossible, inappropriate even. But looking at Brianna, seeing the vulnerability in her eyes, he felt the same pull that had drawn him to her 15 years ago. Intelligence, kindness, strength. She'd built an empire but never lost her compassion. I don't know, he said finally. Ask me again after Kayla's surgery. Right now, I can't think about anything else. That's fair. Brianna stood. I should go. Let you get some rest. I'll be here Friday morning before they take her to surgery. You don't have to do that. I want to. Kayla asked me to be there and I won't let her down. At the door, Brianna paused. Tyler? For what it's worth, Michelle was lucky to have you. And someday when you're ready, some other woman will be lucky too. She left before he could respond. Tyler sat alone with his sleeping daughter, thinking about luck in love and second chances. His phone buzzed. A text from Patrick. How's Kayla doing? Good. Surgery's in 4 days. You ready? No. But I don't have a choice. You've got this, man. Kayla's tough like her dad. Tyler hoped so. He'd survived losing his wife. Losing his daughter would destroy him completely. That night, sleeping in the chair beside Kayla's bed, Tyler dreamed of the past. Of college days with Brianna, studying in the library, stealing kisses between classes. Of proposing to Michelle in her classroom after school, getting down on one knee while she laughed and cried. Of holding newborn Kayla, terrified and awed by the tiny life depending on him. He woke to Kayla shaking his shoulder. Dad, you were talking in your sleep. Sorry, baby. Just dreams. Were they good dreams or bad dreams? Both. Memories mostly. Kayla settled back into bed. Do you think Mom would like Miss Cole? Tyler considered. Michelle had been secure, never jealous, always wanting him to be happy. Yeah. I think she would. Good. Because I really like her. She's nice and she makes you smile. She does. You haven't smiled like that since Mom got sick. Like you're happy and not just pretending to be happy. Children saw too much. Tyler ruffled Kayla's braids. Get some sleep. Big day of tests tomorrow. Dad? I'm scared about the surgery. Me too, baby. But Dr. Johnson seems really good. And Miss Cole said she'll be there when I wake up. You too, right? Wild horses couldn't keep me away. Kayla smiled. That's what Mom used to say. Yeah. It was one of her favorite expressions. They fell asleep holding hands, father and daughter facing the unknown together. The next 3 days were a countdown. Final pre-op tests, consultations, consent forms. Tyler signed paperwork giving doctors permission to cut open his daughter's chest and repair her broken heart. The pen felt heavy in his hand. Brianna brought the signed carpentry contract and the upfront payment. $30,000 deposited in his account just like that. Tyler stared at his bank balance on his phone, seeing numbers he hadn't seen since before Michelle got sick. "What will you do with it?" Brianna asked. They were having coffee in the hospital cafeteria, stealing 20 minutes while Kayla napped. "Pay off some debt. Build up savings again. Maybe fix Michelle's garden." Tyler stirred his coffee. "She loved that garden. Spent every weekend working in it. After she died, I couldn't bear to look at it. Let it go wild. But Kayla mentioned missing it the other day. That sounds perfect. A living memorial. What about you? What do you do when you're not running a company or saving people's lives?" Brianna laughed. "Honestly? Not much. I work a lot. Read business books. Go to charity events. My life is pretty empty outside of work." "No relationships? Someone as successful as you?" "A few over the years. None that stuck. Turns out I'm picky." She met his eyes. "I kept comparing everyone to a memory." Tyler's heart skipped. "That's not fair to them. Or to you." "I know. But the heart wants what it wants, even when it's impractical and 15 years too late." Before Tyler could respond, his phone rang. "Dr. Johnson." "Mr. Bennett, I wanted to confirm. Surgery is scheduled for tomorrow at 7 a.m. Kayla should be in recovery by early afternoon if everything goes smoothly. Do you have any last questions?" "Tomorrow." The word felt surreal. "No questions. We'll be ready." After he hung up, Brianna reached across the table and squeezed his hand. "She's going to be fine." "You can't know that." "I can hope it. And hope is powerful." They returned to Kayla's room together. His daughter was awake, playing a game on the tablet Brianna had brought her. "Dad, Miss Cole, guess what? The nurse said I can have ice cream tonight. Any flavor I want." "What flavor are you thinking?" Tyler asked. "Chocolate with peanut butter. It's the best." Kayla paused her game. "Is tomorrow really the day?" "Tomorrow's really the day." Kayla nodded, her young face serious. "Okay. I'm ready." Tyler wished he could say the same. That evening, Tyler's entire family came to visit. His parents, Michelle's parents, his sister from 2 hours away, even cousins he hadn't seen in months. They crowded into Kayla's room, bringing love and noise and support. Michelle's mother, Patricia, hugged Tyler for a long time. "Michelle would be so proud of how you're handling this. You're a good father, Tyler." "I'm trying." "That's all any of us can do." When visiting hours ended, the family reluctantly left. But Tyler's mother lingered. "Where's that Brianna woman? I wanted to thank her. She said goodbye earlier. Had a late business call." "Well, tell her we're grateful. For everything." His mother studied his face. "She seems special." "Mom? I'm just saying. Michelle would want you to be happy, Tyler. She loved you too much to want you alone forever. It's too soon. And too complicated. Life is always complicated. Doesn't mean you stop living it." She kissed his cheek. "Get some rest. Tomorrow's a big day." After everyone left, Tyler lay down on the cot the nurses had set up for him. Kayla was already asleep, sedated slightly to help her rest before surgery. His phone lit up with a text. "Brianna. Thinking of you both tonight. Kayla is strong and so are you. See you in the morning." Tyler stared at the message then typed back. "Thank you. For everything. Not just the money and the job. For being here." Her response came quickly. "Where else would I be?" Tyler set his phone aside and closed his eyes. Tomorrow would bring fear and hope in equal measure. But tonight, in this quiet room with his daughter breathing steadily nearby, he let himself feel grateful. For medical science. For generous friends. For second chances. For Brianna Cole, who'd come back into his life at exactly the right moment, whether by accident or design. Sleep came slowly, but when it did, Tyler dreamed of the future. Of Kayla running cross-country, of finishing the community space at Cole Enterprises, of Michelle's garden blooming again. And maybe, just maybe, of brown eyes that had haunted him for 15 years finally finding their way back home. Tyler didn't sleep much. Every time he closed his eyes, he imagined worst-case scenarios. By 5 a.m., he gave up and sat watching Kayla sleep, memorizing her peaceful face. At 6, the nurses came to prep her for surgery. They were cheerful and efficient, checking vitals and starting new 4 lines. Kayla woke groggily, disoriented. "Is it time?" "It's time, baby." Tyler helped her sit up, his hands steadier than he felt. Dr. Johnson appeared at 6:30, wearing scrubs and a confident smile. "Good morning, Kayla. Ready to get that heart fixed?" "I guess so." Kayla's voice was small, scared. I've done this surgery over 200 times. You're in excellent hands. Dr. Johnson squeezed Kayla's foot. I'll see you in the operating room, okay? As the surgical team prepared to wheel Kayla away, Brianna arrived. She wore jeans and a blue sweater, her hair pulled back, no makeup. She looked younger, more like the college student Tyler remembered. Sorry I'm late. Traffic. She moved to Kayla's side. Hey brave girl. How are you feeling? Scared. That's okay. Being scared means you're human. Brianna held Kayla's hand. But here's what I know. You're strong, Dr. Johnson is brilliant, and your dad loves you more than anything in the world. That's a pretty good combination. Kayla managed to smile. Will you really be here when I wake up? I promise. Wild horses couldn't keep me away. Tyler's chest tightened hearing his words, Michelle's words, come from Brianna's mouth. The orderly began wheeling the bed toward the elevators. Tyler and Brianna walked alongside, one on each side. In the elevator, Kayla looked between them. Dad? If something happens. Nothing's going to happen. But if it does, don't be sad forever, okay? Mom wouldn't want that. She'd want you to be happy. Tyler couldn't speak around the lump in his throat. He just kissed her forehead, breathing in her smell of hospital soap and kid shampoo. At the surgical floor doors they had to stop. Only medical personnel beyond this point. Kayla gripped both their hands. I love you, Dad. I love you too, baby girl. So much. She looked at Brianna. Thank you for everything, Miss Cole. Call me Brianna. And you're welcome, sweetheart. Then the doors swung shut and Kayla was gone. Tyler stood frozen, staring at the closed doors. Brianna's hand found his. Come on. Let's find the waiting room. The surgical waiting area was depressing. Beige walls, uncomfortable chairs, outdated magazines. A coffee maker in the corner dispensed something that barely qualified as coffee. Tyler paced while Brianna sat, watching him. You should sit. It's going to be hours. I can't sit. He paced another lap. What if something goes wrong? What if she doesn't wake up? What if? Tyler. Brianna stood and stopped him, hands on his shoulders. Breathe. You're spiraling. My daughter is on an operating table getting her heart cut open. I'm allowed to spiral. You are. But it won't help her. Her voice was gentle but firm. Kayla needs you strong when she wakes up. So sit down, drink terrible coffee, and let yourself trust that Dr. Johnson knows what she's doing. Tyler let himself be guided to a chair. Brianna sat beside him, their shoulders touching. The contact was grounding, comforting. Tell me about Michelle's garden, Brianna said. What did she grow? The question surprised him. Why? Because you need distraction and I want to know. What did she plant? Tyler closed his eyes, remembering. Roses. She loved roses, every color. And vegetables in the back. Tomatoes, zucchini, herbs. She'd make dinner with whatever was ready, teaching Kayla about growing your own food. His voice softened. There was a bench under the oak tree. We'd sit there in the evenings after Kayla went to bed, just talking. Those were good times. They sound perfect. They were. Then cancer came and everything fell apart. She fought for 18 months. Chemo, radiation, surgeries. Nothing worked. Tyler opened his eyes. Near the end, she made me promise not to let grief destroy me. She said Kayla needed a father who could still find joy. Have you? Found joy. In small moments. Kayla's laugh. A perfectly executed woodworking joint. Good days in the classroom. He looked at Brianna. And this week, surprisingly. Yeah. Having you around. It's been nice. Confusing but nice. Brianna smiled. Confusing I can work with. Other families filtered in and out of the waiting room as the morning progressed. Some got good news and left crying happy tears. Others got bad news and left crying different tears. Tyler tried not to watch, tried not to imagine which group he'd be in. At 10 o'clock, Patrick arrived with breakfast sandwiches and actual good coffee. Figured you two might need this. He handed out the food. Any news? Not yet. Surgery can take 4 to 6 hours. Tyler unwrapped the sandwich but couldn't eat. His stomach was tied in knots. She's going to be fine, man. Kayla's tough. Everyone keeps saying that. Because it's true. Patrick settled into a chair across from them. Remember when she was 7 and broke her arm falling off the monkey bars? She didn't even cry. Just walked to the nurse's office and calmly explained what happened. Tyler remembered. Michelle had been so proud of Kayla's composure. She gets that from her mother. And from you. You're the calmest person I know in a crisis. I don't feel calm right now. Inside calm. The kind that counts. Patrick glanced at Brianna. So you're the famous Brianna. I've heard stories. All good, I hope. Brianna shook his hand. Mostly. A few about heartbreak and disappearing, but I assume there's more to that story. Patrick. Tyler shot him a warning look. What? I'm protective. Tyler's my best friend. Someone breaks his heart, I want to know why. Her father threatened to destroy my scholarship unless she left. She was protecting me. Tyler's voice was flat. Any other questions? Patrick whistled. Okay, that's valid. Sorry, Brianna. I'm usually less of a jerk. You're fine. You care about Tyler. That's admirable. Brianna sipped her coffee. And for the record, leaving him was the biggest mistake of my life. The honesty silenced Patrick. After a moment he nodded. Okay then. Fresh start. Nice to meet you properly, Brianna. They talked for a while about nothing important. Patrick's new deck project, Brianna's office renovations, Tyler's lesson plans for after he returned to teaching. Anything to pass the time. At noon, Dr. Johnson appeared in the waiting room doorway. Tyler jumped up, his heart in his throat. Mr. Bennett? The surgery went perfectly. Kayla's in recovery now. Relief hit Tyler so hard he almost collapsed. Brianna caught his arm, steadying him. She's okay? Really? Really? The repair was successful. Her heart looks strong. We'll monitor her closely for the next 48 hours, but I'm very optimistic. Dr. Johnson smiled. You can see her in about an hour once she's more alert. She'll be groggy and uncomfortable, but that's normal. Thank you. God, thank you. Tyler couldn't stop the tears. Patrick clapped his shoulder while Brianna hugged him from the other side. After Dr. Johnson left, the three of them stood in a small circle, crying and laughing with relief. I told you, Patrick said, wiping his eyes. Tough kid. The next hour crawled by. Finally, a nurse came to take Tyler to recovery. Brianna stood to follow, but Tyler hesitated. Are you sure? She just got out of surgery. I promised I'd be there when she woke up. I keep my promises. They followed the nurse through secure doors to the recovery area. Kayla lay in a bed surrounded by monitors and machines. A breathing tube had been removed, but oxygen tubes rested in her nose. Her chest was bandaged and she looked impossibly small. But her eyes opened when Tyler took her hand. Dad. The word was barely a whisper, her voice rough from intubation. I'm here, baby. You did great. The surgery worked perfectly. It hurts. I know. The nurses will give you medicine for the pain. He smoothed her braids back. Just rest. Kayla's gaze found Brianna standing at the foot of the bed. You came. I promised, didn't I? Brianna moved closer. How are you feeling besides the pain? Tired? Weird. But okay, I think. Kayla's hand squeezed Tyler's weakly. Is my heart fixed now? It's fixed. Dr. Johnson said you're going to be perfectly healthy. So I can run? And sing? And do all the stuff other kids do. All of it. Once you heal. Tyler felt more tears coming but fought them back. Kayla needed him strong, not falling apart. Over the next hours, Kayla drifted in and out of consciousness, the pain medication making her drowsy. Each time she woke, she looked for both Tyler and Brianna, relaxing when she saw them there. That evening, once Kayla had been moved to a private room in cardiac ICU, Tyler's family arrived. They crowded around Kayla's bed, talking in hushed voices, bringing stuffed animals and cards. Kayla was more alert now, managing small smiles at their jokes. Tyler's mother cried happy tears. Michelle's mother held Kayla's hand and said a prayer of thanksgiving. Brianna stayed in the background, giving the family space. But Kayla kept looking for her, making sure she hadn't left. When visiting hours ended and the family reluctantly departed, Brianna moved to leave too. I should go. Let you both rest. Stay, Kayla said. Please? Just a little longer? Brianna looked at Tyler, who nodded. Stay. She settled into the chair by the window while Tyler took his usual spot beside the bed. The three of them sat in comfortable silence, watching the sun set through the hospital window. This is nice, Kayla murmured, fighting sleep. All of us together. Like a family. Tyler and Brianna's eyes met over Kayla's bed. Something passed between them, understanding and possibility and fear all mixed together. Get some sleep, sweetheart, Tyler said gently. Tomorrow you'll feel even better. Will you both be here tomorrow? I'll be here, Tyler promised. Me too, Brianna added. I took the whole week off work. Kayla smiled, satisfied, and let sleep take her. Once she was deeply asleep, Brianna moved to stand beside Tyler. She's incredible. You've raised an amazing daughter. Michelle did most of the work. I'm just trying not to mess it up. You're doing more than that. You're giving her love, stability, hope. That's everything. Tyler watched his daughter breathe, the steady beep of monitors confirming her strong heartbeat. When Michelle died, I didn't think I'd survive. The grief was crushing. But Kayla needed me, so I got up every morning and kept going. Some days that's all I did. Just kept going. That's more than most people could manage. Is it? Because most days I feel like I'm failing. Working too much, not spending enough time with her, letting the house fall apart, forgetting to buy groceries or sign permission slips. I'm constantly behind, constantly exhausted. You're human. Single parenting is impossible. Anyone who does it at all is a hero. Tyler turned to face her. Thank you for being here today. I know you barely know Kayla, but your presence meant everything to her. To me too. I want to be here. Not out of obligation or guilt, but because I care. Brianna's voice dropped. About both of you. The admission hung in the air between them. Tyler knew he should back away, maintain boundaries, protect his heart and Kayla's. Getting involved with Brianna was risky, complicated. But looking at her in the dim hospital light, seeing the genuine care in her expression, Tyler felt something shift inside him. Not love, not yet. But the possibility of love. The beginning of something that could be beautiful if he was brave enough to try. I care too, he said quietly. I didn't want to. I tried not to. But I do. Brianna smiled, tentative and hopeful. Where does that leave us? I don't know. Kayla has to come first. She needs stability while she recovers, not her dad navigating a complicated relationship. I understand. I can wait. Can you? Because it might be months before she's fully healed. Before I have energy for anything beyond basic survival. Tyler, I waited 15 years. A few more months is nothing. She touched his hand gently. I'm not going anywhere. Whatever you need, whatever timeline works for you and Kayla, I'm here. The promise felt genuine. Tyler wanted to believe it. Okay. Friends for now. Close friends. And we'll see where things go. Friends sounds perfect. They shook hands solemnly, then both laughed at the formality of it. The laughter felt good, normal, like maybe life could include joy again. That night, Tyler slept in the chair beside Kayla's bed while Brianna went home to rest. But she texted him every few hours, checking in, offering support. Tyler found himself looking forward to her messages, to the connection they represented. The next morning, Kayla woke feeling better. The doctors reduced her pain medication and encouraged her to take small sips of water. She complained about the hospital food, which Dr. Johnson said was a good sign. If you're well enough to complain about food, you're well enough to recover, the surgeon said with a smile. Brianna arrived at 8 with coloring books and puzzles. She sat with Kayla for hours, working on projects together, chatting about anything and everything. Tyler watched them bond, seeing how naturally Brianna fit into their lives. Patrick visited during lunch, bringing sandwiches from Kayla's favorite deli. Michelle's sister called from California, crying with relief. Tyler's students sent a giant card covered in signatures and drawings. Over the next 3 days, Kayla's recovery progressed steadily. She graduated from liquids to soft foods to regular meals. Physical therapists helped her take short walks in the hallway, building back her strength. The incision healed cleanly, no signs of infection. Throughout it all, Brianna was there. Not hovering, not overwhelming, just present. Reading aloud when Kayla got bored, fetching coffee for Tyler, charming the nurses into extending visiting hours. On the 4th day post-surgery, Dr. Johnson declared Kayla ready to go home with specific care instructions. No strenuous activity for 6 weeks. Light walks are fine, but nothing that raises her heart rate significantly. Follow-up appointment in 2 weeks, then monthly checks for 6 months. She handed Tyler a folder of paperwork. Any questions? Can she go back to school? Half day starting next week if she feels up to it. Full days after another 2 weeks. Kayla cheered weakly from her bed. I get to see my friends. The ride home felt surreal. Tyler had spent so much time at the hospital it had become normal. Now, pulling into their driveway, seeing their small house with its overgrown garden and peeling paint, reality set in. His daughter was alive. She was healed. They'd gotten their miracle. Brianna helped Tyler set up the living room for Kayla's recovery. They moved the couch near the TV, stacked books and movies within reach, created a comfortable nest for healing. Do you need me to stay? Brianna asked once Kayla was settled with a movie. We'll be okay. You must have work piling up. Work can wait. but she gathered her purse. Call me if you need anything. Anything at all. At the door, Kayla called out, Brianna? Will you come visit me? While I'm recovering? Every day if you want. I want. After Brianna left, Tyler made dinner, simple pasta that Kayla picked at without much appetite. They watched TV together until she fell asleep on the couch. Tyler carried her to her bed, tucking her in carefully to avoid the incision site. Her room was exactly as she'd left it 2 weeks ago. Posters on the walls, stuffed animals on the shelves, schoolwork scattered across her desk. But everything felt different now. Brighter, more precious. Tyler stood in the doorway watching her sleep, overwhelmed with gratitude. They'd come so close to losing everything. Instead, they'd been given a second chance. And maybe, just maybe, Tyler was being given a second chance too. Not just at love but at happiness. At building a life that honored Michelle's memory while allowing space for new joy. It was terrifying and exciting in equal measure. But as Kayla had said during one of their hospital conversations, being scared just meant you were human. And humans, as Tyler was learning, were capable of incredible resilience. Tomorrow would bring new challenges. Recovery wouldn't be easy. But tonight, in this quiet house with his daughter safely asleep, Tyler let himself hope. For healing. For health. For happiness. And maybe, eventually, for love. 2 weeks after surgery, Kayla returned to school for half-days. Tyler drove her every morning, watching anxiously as she walked slowly into Riverside Elementary. But she came home each day smiling, excited to see her friends and feel normal again. The carpentry project at Cole Enterprises began the same week. Tyler arrived at 7 a.m. on Monday, tool belt on, ready to start the custom work. The building had transformed since his initial tour. The major construction was complete, leaving clean spaces ready for his finishing touches. Brianna met him on the second floor, wearing jeans and a work shirt, hair pulled back in a ponytail. Good morning. Ready to build something amazing? Always. Tyler set down his toolbox, surveying the executive offices. Which one do you want to start with? This one. She led him to the corner office. It's mine so you can experiment here. If I hate it, we'll redo it before tackling the others. They spent the morning discussing designs. Tyler sketched concepts while Brianna gave feedback. She wanted built-in bookshelves covering 2 walls, a window seat overlooking the city, a custom desk with hidden storage. I spend 12 hours a day working. It should be a space that inspires me, not drains me. She gestured to the large windows. I want to look up from my desk and see sky. That matters. Tyler understood. His classroom had windows facing the courtyard. On hard days, watching students play outside reminded him why he taught. They worked side by side, measuring and planning. Tyler was conscious of her presence, the way she moved through space, her thoughtful questions about each design element. This felt different from his usual carpentry jobs, more collaborative and personal. At noon, they broke for lunch. Brianna had ordered sandwiches from a nearby cafe. They sat on upturned buckets, eating and talking. How's Kayla adjusting? Better than I expected. She gets tired easily, but she's happy to be back with friends. Tyler bit into his sandwich. She asks about you constantly. When are you visiting? What are you doing? Can she call you? She can call me anytime. I gave her my personal number. You didn't have to do that. I wanted to. Kayla's special, Tyler. She's smart, funny, brave. I'm grateful to know her. Something warm spread through Tyler's chest. Hearing Brianna care about his daughter meant more than any romantic gesture could. After lunch, they started actual construction. Tyler cut wood while Brianna helped measure and hold pieces in place. She was surprisingly skilled, following instructions precisely. Did you do carpentry before? Tyler asked, noting her comfortable handling of tools. My grandfather was a carpenter. I spent summers helping him build furniture. He'd let me sand pieces and learn basic joints. Her expression softened with memory. He died when I was 16. I'd forgotten how much I enjoyed this. Why business instead of working with your hands? Family pressure. My father wanted me in the corporate world. Said carpentry was a hobby, not a career. I believed him. She helped Tyler lift a large bookshelf frame into position. But he was wrong. There's dignity in creating something tangible, something that lasts. Tyler secured the frame. That's why I love both teaching and carpentry. Both let you build things. One builds minds, the other builds physical objects. Both matter. You're a good teacher. Patrick told me. Patrick talks too much. He said your students love you. That you make history come alive, help kids who struggle, stay late tutoring anyone who needs help. Brianna handed him another board. That's rare. Most teachers burn out. I came close. After Michelle died, I nearly quit. Couldn't imagine standing in front of students pretending everything was fine when my world had shattered. Tyler measured the board, marking cut points. But then I realized teaching was the one thing that still made sense. Kids needed someone to care, and I could still do that even while grieving. You're stronger than you think. Or just stubborn. They worked in comfortable rhythm, conversation flowing naturally between focused silence. By late afternoon, the basic bookshelf structure was complete in Brianna's office. Tomorrow we'll add the shelves and detail work. Tyler packed his tools. Then it's just finishing and installation. It looks incredible already. Brianna ran her hand along the smooth wood. Thank you for taking this project. Thank you for offering it. The money's helping, but honestly, I'd have done this for free. Creating something this beautiful is its own reward. They walked out together into the late September sunshine. Fall had fully arrived, leaves turning gold and red, air crisp and cool. Do you have plans tonight? Brianna asked as they reached the parking lot. Dinner with Kayla, then helping her with homework. Why? I was thinking maybe I could bring dinner over. Pizza or Chinese, whatever Kayla likes. Let you both relax after her first week back at school. Tyler hesitated. Having Brianna at his house felt significant, crossing a line from workplace colleagues to something more personal. But Kayla would be thrilled, and honestly, company sounded good. Chinese. Kayla loves lo mein. Come around 6. Perfect. I'll text before I head over. That evening, Tyler cleaned the house in a panic. He'd been so focused on Kayla's recovery he'd let everything slide. Dishes piled in the sink, laundry overflowing, dust coating every surface. Kayla watched from the couch, amused. Dad, Brianna doesn't care if the house is messy. I care. We have a guest coming. Brianna's not a guest. She's family. The casual statement stopped Tyler mid-vacuum. What? She's been here every day for 2 weeks. She knows where we keep the plates and which mugs we use for coffee. That's not a guest, Dad. That's family. Tyler hadn't thought about it that way. But Kayla was right. Brianna had seamlessly integrated into their lives, fitting in naturally. Was that okay? Was he letting her get too close too fast? Before he could overthink it further, the doorbell rang. Kayla squealed with excitement. She's here. Brianna stood on the porch holding bags of Chinese food and a small wrapped package. She wore casual clothes, nothing fancy, like she'd just come from home rather than work. Special delivery. She handed Tyler the food, then presented the package to Kayla. A little something for surviving your first week back. Kayla tore open the wrapping to reveal a leather-bound journal and fancy pens. What's this for? Writing. You mentioned wanting to write songs. Every songwriter needs a good notebook. Brianna sat beside Kayla on the couch. My grandfather gave me one when I was your age. I still have it, filled with terrible poetry and big dreams. Thank you. Kayla hugged the journal. I'm going to write a song about hearts. Not the romantic kind, the actual organ. About being brave and fixed. That sounds amazing. I want to hear it when you're done. They ate dinner at the kitchen table, Kayla monopolizing conversation with stories from school. How her friends had signed her cast, how her teacher had given her extra time on assignments, how the cute boy in math class had carried her books. You're 12? No boys, Tyler said automatically. Dad, he was just being nice because I had surgery. It's not romantic. Good. Keep it that way. Brianna laughed at their exchange. Let her have friends, Tyler. Boys included. Not helpful. After dinner they moved to the living room. Kayla wanted to show Brianna her room, so they went upstairs while Tyler cleaned up. He could hear their voices, laughter floating down. When they returned, Kayla was yawning. Time for bed, I think, Tyler said. Do I have to? Doctor's orders. Rest is important for healing. Kayla hugged Brianna goodnight. Will you come over again soon? Whenever you want. Just ask your dad. After tucking Kayla in, Tyler returned to find Brianna studying the photos on the mantel. She held one of Michelle and Tyler on their wedding day, both young and hopeful. She was beautiful. Inside and out. Tyler took the frame gently. That was the best day of my life. Well, tied with the day Kayla was born. You have a good life together. A real family. Brianna's voice held wistfulness. That's what I always wanted but never found. It's not too late. You're only 36. I know. But building a life with someone requires time and presence. My company demanded everything. I chose ambition over relationships. She looked at Tyler. What about you? Have you thought about dating? Moving forward? The question had been lurking for weeks. Tyler considered his answer carefully. Honestly, I didn't think I'd ever want to date again. Michelle was it for me. We built a life together, raised a daughter, were partners in every way. The idea of starting over with someone new felt exhausting and wrong. But Kayla deserves to see love modeled again. She deserves to know that her mother's death doesn't mean our family ends. And maybe, just maybe, I deserve happiness too. You definitely deserve happiness. They sat on the couch, a careful distance between them. Tyler was hyper-aware of her presence, the way her leg was inches from his, how easy it would be to reach out and touch her hand. But he didn't. Not yet. Can I ask you something? Brianna said. And you can tell me if it's too personal. Ask. Do you think Michelle would approve of us reconnecting? Tyler had thought about this constantly. Yeah, I do. Michelle wasn't jealous or possessive. She wanted me happy. Before she died, she made me promise not to shut down, not to stop living. He paused. She even said if I met someone else, someone who made me laugh and supported me with Kayla, she'd be glad. At the time I thought she was crazy. But Michelle understood things I didn't. She sounds wise. She was. Patient, kind, wise. Everything I needed after you left. Tyler met Brianna's eyes. I loved her completely. But she's gone. And I'm still here, still alive, still capable of feeling things I thought died with her. What kind of things? Hope. Attraction. The possibility of love again. Tyler's voice dropped. Specifically with you. Brianna's breath caught. Tyler. I'm not ready yet. Kayla needs more time to heal, and honestly so do I. But I wanted you to know. You asked me to tell you after the surgery, and I'm telling you. I'm falling for you again, Brianna. Or maybe I never stopped. The confession hung between them. Brianna's eyes shone with tears. I love you, Tyler. I never stopped. 15 years, dozens of other people, none of it mattered. It was always you. Tyler reached out and took her hand. The contact sent electricity through him, familiar and new all at once. Can we take this slow? Let Kayla adjust. Let me figure out how to balance being a father and being in a relationship. As slow as you need. Brianna squeezed his hand. I've waited 15 years. I can wait however long it takes. They sat holding hands on the couch, not kissing, not rushing. Just being present together, acknowledging the feelings growing between them. Eventually Brianna left. Tyler walked her to her car, the autumn night cool and starlit. Same time tomorrow at the work site? She asked. I'll be there. And maybe dinner again this week? Kayla would love that. So would I. Brianna smiled, that same smile that had captivated Tyler 15 years ago. Then she drove away, leaving him standing in his driveway feeling lighter than he had in years. Inside, Tyler checked on Kayla. She was awake, reading her new journal by nightlight. Dad? Do you like Brianna? Tyler sat on the edge of her bed. Yeah, I do. Is that okay with you? It's more than okay. She makes you happy. I can see it. Kayla set down her journal. Mom would like her. They're both smart and kind, and they both loved you. Loved? Past tense for Mom? Mom's gone, Dad. I'll always love her, but she's not here anymore. Brianna is. Kayla's wisdom amazed him sometimes. It's okay to be happy again. Mom told me to take care of you, and part of that is making sure you don't end up sad and alone. When did you become so smart? I've always been smart. You just weren't paying attention. She grinned. So are you going to ask her to be your girlfriend? Eventually. We're taking it slow. Don't take too slow. You're not getting any younger. Tyler laughed and kissed her forehead. Get some sleep, smart mouth. That night, Tyler lay in bed thinking about second chances and new beginnings. About how love didn't have to be once in a lifetime. How hearts, both literal and metaphorical, could heal and grow stronger. Michelle had taught him that love was patient, kind, and enduring. Now Brianna was teaching him that love could also be reclaimed, rediscovered, reborn. Both lessons were precious. Both women were gifts. And Tyler, for the first time since Michelle's death, felt truly hopeful about the future. The next weeks passed in a comfortable rhythm. Tyler worked at Cole Enterprises every day, transforming Brianna's office into a masterpiece. They fell into easy partnership, her ideas combining with his craftsmanship to create something beautiful. In the evenings, Brianna often came for dinner. Sometimes she brought food, other times Tyler cooked. Kayla blossomed under the attention, her health improving daily, her spirits high. 6 weeks after surgery, Dr. Johnson cleared Kayla for full activity. Her heart is perfect, strong and healthy. You can stop worrying. Tyler cried in the parking lot after that appointment. Relief, joy, gratitude all overwhelming him at once. He called Brianna immediately. She's cleared. Completely healthy. Tyler, that's amazing. We should celebrate. That weekend they threw a party. Tyler's family, Kayla's friends, Patrick and his family, even some of Tyler's students came. Brianna's mother drove in from the city, an elegant woman who hugged Tyler and thanked him for making her daughter happy again. The party filled their small house and spilled into the backyard where Michelle's garden had been. Tyler had spent recent weekends clearing it, planting new roses, rebuilding the beds. It wasn't finished, but it was coming back to life. Kayla sang at the party, her voice strong and clear. She performed the song she'd written about hearts and courage and surviving impossible things. Everyone cried. After the guests left, Tyler, Kayla, and Brianna sat in the newly cleared garden, watching fireflies drift through the dusk. "This is perfect," Kayla said. "All of us together. I wish it could stay like this forever." Tyler looked at Brianna, sitting close enough that their shoulders touched, Kayla leaning against his other side. "Maybe it can," he said quietly. Brianna met his eyes. "Yeah, maybe it can." That night, after Kayla was asleep, Tyler and Brianna stood on the porch. The autumn air was crisp, stars visible despite the city lights. "I have something to tell you," Tyler said. "The carpentry project is almost done. Another week and my contract is complete." "I know. Your work is incredible, Tyler. Better than I imagined. But I don't want it to end. Not just the project but this. Spending time together, building something." "What are you saying?" "I'm saying I'm ready. To stop taking it slow. To see where this goes." He took her hand. "Brianna Cole, would you like to officially be my girlfriend? With full teenage awkwardness and everything?" Brianna laughed through tears. "Yes. Absolutely yes." Their first kiss was gentle, tentative, testing boundaries. Then deeper, 15 years of longing poured into one moment. When they pulled apart, both were crying and smiling. "I love you," Tyler said. "I'm scared and unsure and still figuring this out, but I love you." "I love you too. I'll be patient with the scared and unsure parts." They stood holding each other under the stars, two people who'd found their way back despite time and heartbreak and loss. Inside, Kayla watched from her window, grinning. She'd planned this. All the dinner invitations, the constant questions about Brianna, the pointed comments about Tyler needing happiness. Her mother would be proud, Kayla thought. She'd saved her dad from sadness just like Michelle had asked. Now her family was complete again. Different than before but still full of love. And that was all that mattered. October brought cooling weather and changing leaves. Kayla returned to full days at school, joining the choir and making plans to audition for the winter musical. Tyler finished the carpentry work at Cole Enterprises, the community space gleaming with his custom touches. The grand opening was scheduled for November, but first, Brianna had business to handle. "I have to go to Japan," she said over dinner at Tyler's house. 3 weeks, maybe 4. "The Tokyo office needs my oversight for a major deal." Tyler's stomach dropped. "When?" "Next week." "I know the timing is terrible. We just officially started dating and now I have to leave." Brianna looked miserable. "I tried to send someone else, but the Japanese investors specifically requested me." Kayla spoke up. "You have to go. This is your company. Your dream. But I don't want to leave you too." "Then we'll video call every day," Tyler said firmly. "It's 3 weeks, not forever. We'll survive." "Are you sure?" Brianna reached for his hand across the table. "I'm sure. This is important for your business. I want you to go and succeed." He meant it even though the thought of her absence already hurt. They spent that week making the most of their time together. Brianna continued coming for dinner every night. Tyler took her to his favorite spots around the city, introducing her to his world. They kept things appropriate around Kayla but stole kisses when she wasn't looking. The night before Brianna's flight, Tyler gave her something. A small wooden box he'd carved, inlaid with delicate patterns. "For your jewelry or whatever. Something to remember us while you're gone." Brianna opened it, tears forming. Inside he'd carved B+T surrounded by roses. "Tyler, it's beautiful. You can tell me it's too much. We've only been officially together for 2 weeks. It's perfect." She kissed him. "I'm going to miss you so much." "Miss you too. Go make that deal. Show Japan what Brianna Cole can do." At the airport the next morning, all 3 of them came to see her off. Kayla hugged Brianna tightly. "Bring me something cool from Tokyo. And don't forget about us." "Never." Brianna kissed the top of Kayla's head. "Be good for your dad and keep healing." Tyler walked Brianna to security, not caring who saw them holding hands. At the checkpoint they kissed goodbye, a real kiss that promised this wasn't ending. "Come back to us," Tyler whispered. "Always." Then she was through security, waving until she disappeared into the crowd. The house felt empty that night. Tyler and Kayla ate dinner quietly, both missing Brianna's presence. "It's only 3 weeks," Tyler said. "That's 21 days. 504 hours. 30,240 minutes. Kayla had always been good at math. "When did you become such a romantic?" "Since I got a fixed heart and realized life's too short not to care about people." Tyler's phone buzzed. A text from Brianna with a photo of her at the gate. "Boarding soon. Already missing you both." Tyler showed Kayla, who immediately demanded they take a selfie to send back. They squeezed together, Tyler holding the phone. He sent it with the caption, "We miss you too. Safe flight." The days developed a rhythm. Morning coffee, Tyler teaching while Kayla was at school, evenings helping with homework and making dinner. But now they had video calls with Brianna at 10 p.m., which was noon the next day in Tokyo. Brianna would call from her hotel or office, showing them the Tokyo skyline, teaching Kayla a few Japanese words, telling them about the negotiations. Sometimes she looked exhausted, the business deal taking its toll. Other times she was energized, excited about progress. "The investors are old-fashioned," she explained one night. "They need lots of relationship building, dinners, careful negotiation. It's slow but necessary." "How much longer?" Tyler asked. 2 more weeks, maybe 3. "I'm sorry. I know I said 3 weeks maximum, but things are moving slower than expected." "It's okay. We understand." But privately, Tyler found the distance harder than anticipated. He'd gotten used to Brianna's presence, her laughter, her warmth. The house felt incomplete without her. Kayla seemed to handle it better, filling her time with school activities and new friendships. She was thriving, her health perfect, her energy boundless. Tyler was grateful but also lonely. For the first time since Michelle's death, he wanted someone there in the evenings, not just to help with Kayla but for himself. 3 weeks became 4. Brianna's deal was progressing but hit complications. Cultural misunderstandings, contract disputes, endless meetings. "I'm so tired," she admitted one night. Dark circles shadowed her eyes. "I haven't slept more than 4 hours a night in weeks. These businessmen work until midnight, then expect me at breakfast meetings at 7. Tell them you need rest." "I can't. Not until this is signed. We're so close, Tyler. This deal will expand coal enterprises into Asia. It's everything I've worked toward. Your health matters more than any deal." "I know. I just need to push through a little longer." Tyler worried. Brianna was pushing herself too hard, the way she always had. It was part of why her company succeeded, but also why she'd been alone for so long. Work always came first. "Promise me you'll sleep tonight. At least 6 hours." "I promise. I love you, Tyler." "Love you too. So much." As Tyler watched Brianna's tired face on the screen, thousands of miles away, he wondered if love was always enough to bridge distance and ambition. What would you do if the person you loved was chasing their dreams across the ocean? Please subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever had to support someone from afar? Week 5 arrived. Brianna called with news. "The deal's done. Signed this morning. We did it." Relief flooded Tyler. "That's amazing. Congratulations." "Thank you. I'm booking a flight home for this weekend." "Finally." Kayla's been counting days. "So have I." Brianna smiled, the first genuine one Tyler had seen in weeks. "I can't wait to see you both. To be home." That Saturday, Tyler and Kayla went to the airport. Kayla held a welcome home sign she'd made, decorated with hearts and flowers. Tyler held coffee, knowing Brianna would be exhausted from the long flight. When she emerged from customs, pulling her luggage, Tyler's breath caught. She looked different. Thinner, more tired, but also triumphant. A woman who'd conquered mountains. Kayla ran to her, hugging her tightly. "You're back." "I'm back." Brianna hugged them both, eyes closed. "God, I missed you." They drove home, Kayla chattering about everything Brianna had missed. The school musical auditions, Kayla got a part, the Halloween party at Patrick's house, Tyler's new woodworking project. At the house, Brianna collapsed on the couch. "I'm so tired I could sleep for a week." "Then sleep. We're not going anywhere." Tyler covered her with a blanket. She fell asleep within minutes, holding Tyler's hand. Kayla curled up on the other end of the couch, content to just have Brianna nearby. Tyler watched them both, his daughter and his girlfriend, and felt complete. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they'd face them together. That night, after Kayla went to bed, Tyler and Brianna sat in the garden. Michelle's roses were blooming one last time before winter, their scent heavy in the cool air. "I have something to tell you," Brianna said. "The Tokyo deal means I'll need to travel more. Maybe once a quarter, sometimes for weeks at a time. It's part of running an international company." Tyler had expected this. "I figured. Can you handle it? The travel?" "I think so. Especially knowing I have you and Kayla to come home to." She leaned against him. "But I want to make sure you're okay with it. Dating someone who travels for work is hard." "It is hard. But I believe in what you do. You're building something important, creating jobs, helping communities. I'd never ask you to give that up. Even if it means time apart? Even then. We'll make it work." Tyler kissed her temple. "Besides, absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? I think 5 weeks is enough fondness for a while." Brianna turned to face him. "Tyler, I need you to know. This company, everything I built, it doesn't mean anything if I'm alone. You and Kayla matter more than any business deal." "We know. And we're not going anywhere." They stayed in the garden until the stars came out, wrapped in each other's warmth. Inside, Kayla peeked out her window and smiled. Her family was together again. The next weeks were blissful. Brianna took time off work, spending days with Tyler and Kayla. They visited museums, saw movies, took a weekend trip to the mountains to see fall colors. One afternoon, they visited Michelle's grave. Tyler hadn't brought anyone there before, but it felt right to bring Brianna. They stood at the simple headstone, Tyler holding flowers. He introduced Brianna aloud, feeling only slightly silly. "Michelle, this is Brianna. She's been helping with Kayla and we're dating now. I think you'd like her." Kayla added, "She makes Dad happy, Mom. The way you used to. You said we should find happiness again and I think we have." Brianna didn't say anything, just placed her hand on the stone respectfully. Tyler appreciated her silence. Some moments didn't need words. Driving home, Kayla spoke from the back seat. "Do you think Mom's happy we're moving on?" "I think she is," Tyler said. "She loved us too much to want us stuck in grief forever." "Good. Because I really like Brianna. Not as a replacement for Mom, but as her own person. Is that okay?" "That's perfect, baby." That night, after Kayla was asleep, Tyler and Brianna talked seriously about their future. "Where do you see this going?" Tyler asked. "Us, I mean. Honestly, I see forever. Marriage, building a life together, maybe me becoming a stepmom to Kayla." Brianna's honesty was refreshing. "But I know it's early. We've only been together, really together, for 2 months. 2 months plus 15 years of history." "True." She smiled. "What about you? What do you want?" "I want stability for Kayla. She's been through so much. I don't want to introduce someone into her life permanently unless I'm certain." Tyler took Brianna's hand. "But I am certain. About you, about us. You're it for me, Brianna. Second love of my life, but no less powerful." "I like being second." Michelle earned first place. Brianna squeezed his hand. "So what's our timeline? Let's get through the holidays. Let Kayla see us as a couple during family events, normal life. Then we'll talk about next steps." "Okay. But Tyler? I already know I want to marry you." "Whenever you're ready, my answer is yes." The declaration stunned Tyler. But looking at Brianna, seeing the certainty in her eyes, he felt the same. "Okay then. Let's see where life takes us." November arrived with the grand opening of Cole Enterprises' new building. The community space looked incredible, Tyler's woodwork shining under professional lighting. A stage dominated one end, seating arranged beautifully around it. For the opening ceremony, Kayla performed. She sang her heart song, the one about courage and healing. The audience of business leaders, community members, and press representatives stood and applauded. Afterward, people crowded around Tyler, praising his craftsmanship. Several offered him jobs, custom projects. Brianna watched proudly, seeing the recognition Tyler deserved. That evening, exhausted but happy, they returned to Tyler's house. Brianna had started keeping clothes there, a toothbrush in the bathroom, her coffee mug in the cabinet. Small signs of integration. "Tonight was perfect," Kayla said, yawning. "Did you see everyone crying during my song? You were amazing, baby girl." Tyler hugged her. "I'm so proud of you." "I'm proud of me too." She grinned. "And Dad? I think it's time." "Time for what?" "Time for you to ask Brianna to move in. She's here every day anyway. Might as well make it official." Tyler looked at Brianna, who was blushing. "Kayla, that's not something kids decide." "Why not? It's my house too." And I vote yes. After Kayla went to bed, Tyler and Brianna sat on the couch, holding hands. She has a point, Brianna said carefully. I am here constantly. My apartment feels empty when I'm there. You want to move in? Eventually. Not yet, maybe. But I want to know it's a possibility. Tyler thought about it. His house still held Michelle's presence. Photos on the walls, her books on the shelves, her influence in every room. Could he share that space with someone new? But then again, Michelle was gone. The house was for the living. And Brianna, Kayla, and Tyler were very much alive. Ask me again in January. After the holidays, when we've been together 6 months. If we still feel this way, let's do it. Okay. January it is. They sealed the promise with a kiss, both knowing they were building toward something permanent. Outside, the first snow of winter began to fall. Inside, new family was forming, built on love, loss, and the courage to try again. Thanksgiving came quickly. Tyler, Kayla, and Brianna spent it with Tyler's parents. His mother fussed over Brianna, asking about her business and travel plans. His father grilled Tyler privately about whether he was serious about this relationship. She's wonderful, son. But she travels a lot. That'll be hard on you and Kayla. I know, Dad. But some people are worth the challenge. Your mother and I like her. Just wanted to make sure you're thinking clearly. I am. For the first time in 2 years, I'm thinking about the future instead of just surviving today. Christmas preparations followed. Tyler and Kayla decorated the house, pulling out ornaments Michelle had collected over the years. Some hurt to hang, reminders of happier times. Others brought smiles, memories of Christmases past. Brianna joined them, sensitive about Michelle's presence in the traditions. If this is too much, I can go. Stay, Kayla said firmly. We want you here. Mom would too. They strung lights, baked cookies, and watched holiday movies. It felt different from previous years, but not bad. Just new, evolving. Tyler bought Brianna a necklace, a simple pendant with 3 stones. Kayla helped pick it out. What do the 3 stones mean? She'd asked at the jewelry store. Past, present, and future. Everything we've been through, where we are now, and where we're going. That's perfect, Dad. Christmas morning was chaotic and joyful. Kayla opened presents with her usual enthusiasm. Brianna gave Kayla a professional microphone and recording equipment. For your songs. Every artist needs good tools. Kayla's squeal of delight was worth everything. She threw her arms around Brianna. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When Tyler gave Brianna the necklace, she cried. It's beautiful. I'll wear it every day. The 3 stones represent us. Past, present, future. Everything I want with you. I want that too. She kissed him, not caring that Kayla was watching. After presents, they had a quiet breakfast together. Tyler's parents came over for dinner later, along with Michelle's parents. Everyone got along well, the different parts of Tyler's life blending seamlessly. Michelle's mother pulled Tyler aside. Michelle would be so happy seeing you like this. Happy again. You think so? I know so. She told me before she died that her biggest fear was leaving you alone. Seeing you with Brianna, seeing Kayla thriving, that's everything Michelle wanted. The words brought tears but also peace. Tyler hugged his former mother-in-law, grateful for her blessing. That night, after everyone left and Kayla was asleep, Tyler and Brianna sat in the living room surrounded by torn wrapping paper and the glow of Christmas lights. Best Christmas I've had in years, Brianna said. Same. Even better than I hoped. Tyler pulled out a small box he'd kept hidden. I have one more gift, but it comes with a question. Brianna's eyes widened. Tyler. Relax, it's not what you think. Not yet. He opened the box to reveal a key. This is a key to the house. I want you here, Brianna. Not as a guest but as family. Move in with us. Be part of our lives officially. But we said January? It is almost January. And I'm certain. Completely certain. So what do you say? Brianna took the key, tears streaming down her face. Yes. Absolutely yes. They kissed, sweet and deep, sealing the commitment. When they pulled apart, Kayla's voice came from the stairs. Finally. I've been waiting for you two to figure this out. Were you spying? Tyler asked. Obviously. This is exciting. Kayla came down, hugging them both. Brianna, you're really moving in? If that's okay with you. It's more than okay. It's perfect. They spent the rest of the night planning. Brianna would keep her apartment for now, use it as an office when needed, but live primarily at the house. She'd move her personal things over the next few weeks. January brought new beginnings. Brianna's belongings slowly filled empty spaces. Her books on the shelves, her coffee maker in the kitchen, her clothes in the closet. Tyler had worried it would feel like erasing Michelle, but instead it felt like honoring her wish that they move forward. Kayla helped Brianna arrange her room, the guest room that had sat empty since Michelle died. This can be your office when you work from home. And you can put all your business stuff here. What about when you have friends stay over? They can use the couch. This is more important. The house came alive again. Laughter filled rooms that had been silent. Music played during cooking. Weekend mornings meant pancakes and chaos instead of quiet loneliness. Tyler's students noticed the change in him. "Mr. Bennett, you seem happy," one girl observed during class. "I'm happy. Sometimes life gives you second chances." "That's nice. My mom says second chances are gifts." "Your mom is wise." Patrick visited one Saturday, ostensibly to see Tyler's latest woodworking project but really to check on the living situation. "So she's really moved in? This is serious." "Very serious." Tyler sanded a cabinet door. "I'm going to propose soon. Maybe in a few months." "Good. It's about time you had happiness again." Patrick clapped his shoulder. "Michelle would approve." "Everyone keeps saying that." "Because it's true. You loved Michelle completely and she loved you. But she's gone, man. You get to live to love again. There's no shame in that." Tyler knew Patrick was right. But some small part of him still felt guilty. Like happiness with Brianna somehow diminished what he'd had with Michelle. That night he talked to Brianna about it. "Do you ever feel guilty?" "About us?" "Sometimes. Like I'm intruding on something sacred. But then I remember that love isn't finite. Your love for Michelle doesn't take away from your love for me. They're different, both real, both valid." "That's exactly how I feel. I just needed to hear someone else say it." "We're building something new, Tyler. Not replacing what you had but creating something different. Both can exist." They fell asleep holding each other, finding comfort in shared understanding. February brought challenges. Brianna had to travel again, this time to London for 2 weeks. Tyler and Kayla managed, but the house felt empty without her. "I miss her," Kayla admitted one night. "Me too, baby. But she'll be back soon." "When you marry her, will she have to keep traveling?" "Probably. Her company needs her. But we'll make it work." "How?" "By trusting each other. By communicating. By remembering that distance doesn't change how we feel." Kayla considered this. "That's very mature, Dad." "I have my moments." When Brianna returned, the reunion was sweet. She brought gifts from London, stories of her meetings, and deep gratitude for coming home to family. "I hated being away," she admitted. "The hotel was nice, the work was important, but all I wanted was here. With you too." "We're not going anywhere," Tyler promised. March arrived with the first hints of spring. Michelle's garden began showing green shoots, bulbs she'd planted years ago coming back to life. Tyler and Brianna worked together to clear winter debris, plant new flowers. "Michelle had good taste," Brianna said, examining the layout. "This garden is brilliant. She spent hours planning it. Every plant has meaning." "Then we'll honor that. Keep her vision alive while adding our own touches." They planted new roses alongside Michelle's original ones. Not replacing, just expanding. Tyler appreciated the metaphor. One Saturday in early April, Tyler woke early. Kayla was at a friend's house for a sleepover. Brianna slept beside him, peaceful and beautiful. He'd bought the ring 2 weeks ago, a simple diamond that reminded him of her. Not ostentatious, just elegant and classic. The question was when to ask. But lying there, watching dawn light creep through the curtains, Tyler realized there was no perfect time. Just right now, this moment, this woman. He gently woke her. "Brianna?" "Hmm?" She opened her eyes sleepily. "I love you. I love you too. Though it's very early to be saying so." She smiled. "I know. But I wanted you awake for this." Tyler pulled out the ring box he'd hidden in his nightstand. "Brianna Cole, you came back into my life when I needed you most. You saved my daughter, gave me meaningful work, and showed me I could love again. Will you marry me?" Brianna sat up, suddenly wide awake. Tears streamed down her face as she looked at the ring. "Tyler, yes. God, yes." She threw her arms around him. "I'll marry you. Today, tomorrow, whenever you want." He slipped the ring on her finger, then kissed her thoroughly. When they pulled apart, both were crying and laughing. "Should we call Kayla?" Brianna asked. "Definitely. She'll kill us if we wait to tell her." They video called Kayla, who answered from her friend's house. "Dad? It's 7 a.m. on a Saturday. What's wrong?" "Nothing's wrong. Brianna and I have news." Tyler turned the camera so Kayla could see them both. Brianna held up her hand, showing the ring. "We're getting married." Kayla's shriek nearly broke the phone speaker. "Finally. I've been waiting for you to ask her. When's the wedding? Can I be in it? What should I wear?" "Slow down." Tyler laughed. "We just got engaged 30 seconds ago. We haven't planned anything yet." "Well, plan fast. I'm not getting any younger." After hanging up, Tyler and Brianna lay back down, tangled together. "We're really doing this," Brianna said. "We're really doing this. You ready to be a stepmom?" "I've been practicing for months. I think I've got the hang of it." "What about the travel? The business demands? Can you balance it all?" "I'll make it work. You and Kayla are my priority. Everything else fits around you." Tyler believed her. Brianna had proven her commitment repeatedly. Now they were making it official, permanent. "When should we get married?" he asked. "Soon. I don't want to wait. Maybe summer? Give us time to plan, but not so long we second-guess ourselves." "June? That's only 2 months away." "Perfect. June in Michelle's garden. Small ceremony, just family and close friends." Tyler pictured it. The roses would be blooming. The oak tree would provide shade. Michelle's presence would bless the day instead of haunting it. "Okay. June it is." They spent the rest of the day making plans. Called family to share the news. Tyler's mother cried happy tears. Brianna's mother expressed relief that her daughter had finally found happiness. When Kayla came home that afternoon, she immediately started planning. "I'll sing at the ceremony. And we need flowers, lots of flowers. And what about the cake? Can I help pick it?" "Yes to all of that," Brianna said. "This is a family event. Your input matters." That night, the three of them sat in the garden, surrounded by early spring blooms. Kayla talked excitedly about wedding plans while Tyler and Brianna held hands. "This is going to be the best wedding ever," Kayla declared. Tyler looked at his daughter, healthy and happy. At Brianna, the woman who'd changed everything. At the garden his late wife had created, now sheltering new love. "Yeah," he agreed. "I think it will be." Life had brought him full circle. From love to loss to love again. From heartbreak to healing. From darkness to light. And standing there in Michelle's garden with his new family, Tyler Bennett finally felt complete. Wedding planning took over their lives. Brianna wanted simple and meaningful, which Tyler appreciated. No elaborate ceremony, no hundreds of guests. Just family, close friends, and heartfelt vows. They decided on June 15th, a Saturday. The backyard garden would be perfect by then, roses in full bloom. Kayla threw herself into helping, designing invitations and planning the menu. "Can we have a chocolate fountain?" she asked one evening over dinner. "At a wedding?" Tyler raised his eyebrows. "Why not? Everyone loves chocolate fountains." "Your dad's right," Brianna said. "Maybe we save the chocolate fountain for your birthday instead." "Fine. But I still think it would be cool." The first challenge was meeting extended family. Tyler's parents had met Brianna, but his sister Rachel lived 2 hours away and hadn't visited yet. She planned to come the last weekend of April with her husband and 2 kids. "Rachel can be protective," Tyler warned Brianna. "She grilled Michelle for hours when we first got engaged." "I can handle protective. I survived Japanese business negotiations. I can handle your sister." Rachel arrived on Saturday morning with her family. Her husband Mark was quiet and friendly. Their kids, 8 and 6, immediately bonded with Kayla, who took them to her room to play. Rachel hugged Tyler, then studied Brianna openly. "So you're the famous Brianna. I've heard stories. All good, I hope. Some good, some concerning. Like how you disappeared on my brother 15 years ago." Rachel's tone was pleasant but firm. "Rachel," Tyler warned. "It's okay." Brianna met Rachel's eyes. "You're right to question. I hurt Tyler badly. My father threatened to destroy his scholarship if I didn't leave, and I was too young and scared to fight back. I've regretted it for 15 years. Rachel's expression softened slightly. "And now? Now I'm not scared anymore. I love your brother completely. I love Kayla like she's my own. I'm not going anywhere." "Good. Because if you hurt him again you'll answer to me." "Fair enough." After that confrontation, Rachel relaxed. They spent the day together, Rachel sharing embarrassing childhood stories about Tyler while Brianna laughed. "He used to collect rocks," Rachel revealed. "Had hundreds of them, labeled and organized by type." "I was into geology," Tyler protested. "You were a nerd. It's okay to admit it." That evening, after the kids were in bed, Rachel pulled Tyler aside. "She's good for you. I see it in your eyes. You're happy again. I am. Michelle would approve. She was always worried you'd be alone after she died. Everyone keeps saying that. Did Michelle tell all of you to make sure I moved on? Pretty much. She made me promise to kick your butt if you became a hermit. Rachel hugged him. I'm glad she found you, Tyler. Both of them. Michelle then Brianna now. You deserve love. The next family hurdle was Michelle's parents. They'd been kind about Tyler and Brianna, but Tyler still worried. He invited them for dinner the following week. Michelle's mother, Patricia, arrived with photo albums. I thought Brianna might want to see Michelle. Understand who Kayla's mother was. Tyler tensed, but Brianna welcomed the albums. They sat together on the couch while Patricia showed pictures. Michelle as a child, a teenager, a young woman. Her and Tyler's wedding day. Kayla's baby pictures. She was beautiful, Brianna said sincerely. Inside and out. She loved Tyler and Kayla more than anything. Patricia touched one photo. When she got sick, her only concern was them. She made me promise to help Tyler to make sure Kayla remembered her. I'll make sure Kayla knows her mother, Brianna said. I'm not trying to replace Michelle. Just add to Kayla's life. Patricia wiped her eyes. That's all we could ask. Michelle wanted Tyler happy. She'd be glad he found you. Michelle's father, Robert, was quieter but equally accepting. You're marrying into a family that still loves Michelle. Can you handle that? I expect nothing less. Michelle was Kayla's mother, Tyler's first wife. She'll always be part of this family. I'm honored to join that legacy. Robert nodded approvingly. Then welcome. After they left, Tyler held Brianna close. That couldn't have been easy. It was actually beautiful. Seeing how much they loved Michelle, knowing they accept me, it feels right. Brianna looked at the photo album Patricia had left. I'm not threatened by Michelle's memory. I'm grateful for it. She shaped Kayla, loved you, created the foundation of this family. I get to build on that. You're incredible, you know that? I'm just honest. Life's too short for jealousy or insecurity. The next weekend, Brianna's mother visited. Diane Cole was elegant and formidable, a businesswoman in her own right. She'd been skeptical about Brianna's relationship at first but agreed to meet Tyler and Kayla. They had brunch at a nice restaurant downtown. Diane asked Tyler about his teaching, his carpentry, his plans for supporting Brianna's busy career. I know my daughter. She works constantly, travels frequently. How will you handle that? By trusting her and staying flexible. I knew what I was signing up for when we got back together. And Kayla? She's been through so much. How do you protect her while managing a relationship? Kayla's strong. She understands that Brianna's work is important. We video call when Brianna travels and we make the most of the time we have together. Diane turned to Kayla. And you, young lady, what do you think about your father marrying Brianna? Kayla didn't hesitate. I think it's perfect. Brianna makes Dad happy. She helped save my life. She's kind and smart and she actually listens when I talk. I love her. The simple honesty silenced Diane. After a moment she smiled. Well then, I suppose I approve. After lunch, Diane pulled Brianna aside. Tyler watched them talk through the restaurant window. Diane's expression was serious, Brianna listening intently. When Brianna returned she looked thoughtful. Everything okay? Tyler asked. My mother apologized. For my father's behavior 15 years ago, for the way I was raised to prioritize business over everything. She said she's glad I finally chose happiness. That must have felt good. It did. Unexpected but good. As May arrived, the wedding preparations intensified. They found a caterer who specialized in simple, elegant food. Ordered flowers from a local shop. Arranged for a photographer. Kayla worked with the music teacher at school to prepare her song for the ceremony. She practiced constantly, her voice growing stronger and more confident. Tyler's best man would be Patrick. Brianna asked Monica, her business partner, to be her maid of honor. The wedding party was small, intimate, perfect. One evening in mid-May, Tyler's parents came for dinner to discuss final arrangements. His mother had opinions about everything. You should have assigned seating, Tyler. People get confused without it. Mom, there's going to be 20 people. I think they can figure it out. What about a receiving line? You need to greet people properly. We're greeting them in our backyard. A receiving line seems excessive. Brianna laughed at their back and forth. Tyler's mother, I appreciate your help. How about you oversee the setup the morning of the wedding? Make sure everything looks perfect. His mother brightened. I can do that. I have an eye for these things. After his parents left, Tyler collapsed on the couch. I forgot how exhausting wedding planning is. At least it's a small wedding. Imagine if we'd invited hundreds of people. I'd elope. Too late now. We're committed. Brianna curled up beside him. Though I wouldn't mind eloping. Just you, me and Kayla. Don't tempt me. Kayla appeared in the doorway. No eloping. I've been planning this wedding for weeks. You're doing it properly. Yes, ma'am. Tyler saluted. The week before the wedding brought final preparations. The garden looked incredible, roses blooming in every color. Tyler's mother had hired someone to set up white chairs and an arch covered in flowers. Brianna's dress arrived, a simple white gown that made her look like something from a dream. Kayla's dress was green, her favorite color, with flowers embroidered on the hem. Tyler bought a new suit, navy blue with a green tie to match Kayla. Patrick helped him pick it out. You look good, man. Almost as good as you looked at your first wedding. Thanks. I think. I'm just saying you clean up nice. Brianna's lucky. I'm the lucky one. The night before the wedding, Brianna stayed at Monica's house. Tradition dictated they shouldn't see each other before the ceremony. Tyler and Kayla had the house to themselves. Are you nervous, Dad? Kayla asked over pizza. A little. Excited mostly. Do you think Mom's watching? Like, from heaven or wherever? I like to think so. And I think she's happy. Me too. Kayla smiled. Tomorrow's going to be perfect. Tyler couldn't sleep that night. He lay in bed thinking about the journey that had brought him here. From loving Michelle to losing her, from reconnecting with Brianna to building a new family. Life was strange, unpredictable, sometimes cruel. But also beautiful, full of second chances and unexpected grace. He fell asleep thinking about tomorrow, about vows and promises and forever. The wedding day dawned clear and sunny, perfect weather. Tyler's mother arrived at dawn to supervise setup. Chairs were arranged facing the rose garden. The flower arch stood ready under the oak tree. Patrick came early to help Tyler get ready. You good, man? I'm good. Really good. Guests started arriving at 2 p.m. Tyler's family, Michelle's parents, Brianna's mother, colleagues from school, neighbors who'd become friends. Everyone gathered in the garden, talking quietly. At 2:30, music started. Kayla walked down the makeshift aisle first, carrying flowers, beaming with pride. She took her place beside the arch. Then Brianna appeared. She walked alone, no one giving her away. She didn't belong to anyone but herself, choosing Tyler freely and completely. She was beautiful. The simple white dress, her hair loose, the necklace Tyler had given her at Christmas. But more than her appearance, the joy radiating from her took his breath away. Tyler waited under the arch, Patrick beside him. When Brianna reached him, she took his hands. Hi, she whispered. Hi, he whispered back. Patrick's friend, a judge, officiated. His words were simple and perfect. We gather today to celebrate love. Not just the love between Tyler and Brianna, but the love of family, of community, of new beginnings built on foundations of loss and hope. Tyler barely heard the formal parts. He was focused on Brianna, on the way she looked at him, on the promise of their future. When it came time for vows, Tyler spoke first. Brianna, 15 years ago, I loved you completely. Then I lost you and thought that love was gone forever. But love doesn't disappear. It transforms, grows, finds new expression. Today I stand here, older and hopefully wiser, grateful for the journey that brought us back together. You saved my daughter's life. You gave me hope when I'd forgotten what it felt like. You showed me that hearts, like Kayla's, can be broken and repaired, stronger than before. I promise to love you, support your dreams, be patient with the distance your work requires, and build a life with you and Kayla that honors the past while embracing the future. I love you, Brianna Cole. Today, tomorrow, and all the days we're given. Brianna wiped tears away before speaking her vows. Tyler, I've spent 15 years trying to forget you. I built a company, made millions, traveled the world, but nothing filled the empty space you left. When I came back, I told myself it was just to see you, to get closure. Instead, I found home. You and Kayla gave me something I'd never had, family. Not the kind you're born into, but the kind you choose, build, nurture. I promise to love Kayla like my own, to be present even when work takes me away, to communicate honestly, and to never again let fear keep us apart. I promise to honor Michelle's memory and the life you built with her, because that love created the man standing before me. I love you, Tyler Bennett. You are my second chance, my home, my forever. There wasn't a dry eye in the garden. Even Patrick was crying. The judge smiled. By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Tyler, you may kiss your bride. Tyler pulled Brianna close and kissed her as everyone cheered. Kayla rushed forward, hugging them both. We're a real family now, she said. We were always a real family, Brianna replied. Now it's just official. The reception was casual and joyful. They ate good food, cut a simple cake, and danced on the grass. Kayla sang her heart song, bringing everyone to tears again. As the sun set, Tyler and Brianna stood together under the oak tree, watching their families mingle. Best day of my life, Brianna said. Mine too. Tyler kissed her forehead. Though marrying Michelle was also the best day. Is it okay to have two best days? More than okay. Both were beginnings, just different chapters of your life. They danced under the stars as night fell, surrounded by love and hope and the sweet scent of roses. Kayla watched from the porch, satisfaction warming her chest. She'd done it. Saved her dad from loneliness, gained a stepmother who truly cared, created a family from loss. Her mom would be proud. As if sensing her thoughts, Tyler and Brianna looked over at her. They beckoned her to join them on the makeshift dance floor. The three of them danced together, a family united by love, loss, and the courage to try again. And in the garden Michelle had created, amid the roses she'd planted with such care, new life bloomed. Different than before but no less beautiful. Perfect in its imperfection, its blending of past and present, its promise of tomorrow. The honeymoon was short, just a long weekend in the mountains. Brianna had obligations she couldn't postpone, and Tyler didn't want to leave Kayla for too long. They stayed at a cabin overlooking a lake, spending days hiking and nights stargazing. This is perfect, Brianna said one evening. They sat on the deck, wrapped in blankets against the cool June air. Small and simple like us. Speak for yourself. I'm very complicated. She laughed. Tyler pulled her closer. Complicated and perfect. They returned home Monday evening to find Kayla and Tyler's mother had made a welcome home banner. The house smelled like fresh cookies. Welcome back, married people, Kayla announced. How was the honeymoon? Beautiful. How was staying with Grandma? She made me clean my room twice. I'm glad you're back. Tyler's mother just smiled. Someone has to maintain standards. Life settled into a new rhythm. Brianna worked from her home office most days, traveling only when necessary. Tyler returned to teaching, energized by his happiness. Kayla thrived in school, her health perfect, her confidence soaring. The first real test came in July when Brianna had to travel to Singapore for 3 weeks. Tyler supported her decision but saying goodbye was hard. I'll call every day, she promised. We know. Just be safe and don't work yourself to death. Yes, sir. She saluted playfully then kissed him. I love you, Tyler Bennett. Love you too, Brianna Bennett. The name still sounded new, wonderful. Brianna had taken his name, something Tyler hadn't expected. You're building an empire. I thought you'd keep Cole. Cole Enterprises still exists. But personally I'm Brianna Bennett now. I like how it sounds. Those 3 weeks were difficult but manageable. Video calls kept them connected. Kayla showed Brianna her latest artwork. Tyler shared funny stories from his summer school class. Brianna told them about Singapore's culture, the food, the beautiful gardens. When she returned, the reunion was sweet. They picked her up at the airport, Kayla running to hug her while Tyler followed more slowly, savoring the moment. Missed you, he murmured against her hair. Missed you more. Impossible. August brought a surprise. Brianna's foundation had been doing so well that she decided to expand. She hired a director to handle day-to-day operations, reducing her own workload. I don't want to miss Kayla growing up, she explained over dinner. Or miss time with you. The foundation can run without me micromanaging everything. Are you sure? You built this from nothing. Exactly. It's strong enough to grow without me hovering. I'll still be involved, just not consumed by it. The change was immediate. Brianna had more time for family dinners, for helping Kayla with homework, for date nights with Tyler. She looked lighter, happier, more present. In September, school started. Kayla entered 7th grade, more confident than ever. She joined the choir, tried out for soccer, made new friends. Her surgery scar had faded to a thin line she wore proudly. It reminds me I'm strong, she told Tyler. That I survived something hard. Tyler's classroom filled with new students. He introduced them to history with passion, making the past come alive. Several times, students stayed after class asking questions, drawn by his genuine enthusiasm. Patrick teased him. You're like a new man. The power of love or whatever. Or whatever. Very romantic, Pat. Hey, I'm a math teacher. Romance isn't my specialty. In October, the Cole Medical Foundation held a gala fundraiser. Brianna insisted Tyler and Kayla attend. Kayla wore a beautiful blue dress, excited to see the organization that had saved her life. At the event, Brianna gave a speech about the foundation's impact. She mentioned Kayla specifically, calling her up to the stage. "This is Kayla Bennett. A year ago, she needed life-saving heart surgery her family couldn't afford. The foundation covered every expense. Today she's healthy, thriving, living proof of why this work matters." Kayla spoke into the microphone, surprisingly composed. "Thank you to everyone who donates to this foundation. You didn't just save my life. You saved my dad from having to choose between his daughter and financial ruin. You gave us hope when we had none. I'm forever grateful." The crowd gave a standing ovation. Tyler cried, overwhelmed by his daughter's strength and grace. That night, after Kayla was asleep, Tyler and Brianna talked in bed. "She's incredible," Brianna said. "So articulate and brave. She gets that from her mother. Both of them." Tyler kissed Brianna's forehead. "Thank you for giving her that platform. She deserved recognition. And the foundation needed a face, a reminder of why we do this work." November brought Thanksgiving again. This year they hosted at their house. Tyler's family, Michelle's parents, Brianna's mother, Patrick and his family, all crowded around the dining table and extra card tables set up in the living room. The noise was beautiful, chaotic, perfect. Multiple conversations happened simultaneously, kids ran around, laughter filled every room. Brianna carved the turkey while Tyler managed side dishes. Kayla helped set tables and kept everyone's glasses filled. Before eating, Tyler's father called for silence. "I'd like to say something. A year ago, Tyler and Kayla were facing impossible circumstances. Kayla was dying, Tyler was drowning, and hope seemed far away. Today we're gathered in abundance. Kayla is healthy. Tyler is happy. Our family has grown to include Brianna, who's proven herself kind, generous, and worthy of our love. I'm grateful for second chances, for medical miracles, for love that persists through grief. Let's eat." Everyone raised their glasses in agreement, then dove into the meal. After dinner, Tyler found himself in the garden with Michelle's father. Robert looked at the roses, now dormant for winter but still beautiful. "Michelle would be so happy," Robert said quietly. "Seeing you like this." "I hope so. I still miss her." "Of course you do. Love doesn't end with death. It transforms." Robert put his hand on Tyler's shoulder. "But life is for the living, son. You're doing right by Michelle's memory by living fully, loving again, giving Kayla a complete family." "Thank you. That means a lot." Inside, Brianna and Kayla were teaching Diane how to play a card game. The three of them laughed at Diane's competitive streak, her determination to win at everything. Tyler watched through the window, his heart full. This was family. Messy, complicated, built from love and loss and persistence. December brought holiday preparations. They decorated together, blending Tyler's traditions with Brianna's. The house sparkled with lights and greenery. On Christmas Eve, Brianna surprised them with a trip. "Pack bags for a week. We're going somewhere special." "Where?" Kayla demanded. "It's a surprise. Trust me." They flew to a beach resort in the Caribbean. Warm sand, clear water, palm trees swaying in gentle breezes. For a week, they played in the waves, built sandcastles, watched sunsets that painted the sky impossible colors. "This is the best Christmas ever," Kayla declared, floating in the ocean. "Agreed," Tyler said. He looked at Brianna, who was reading under an umbrella. "Though any Christmas with you would be the best." "Sappy," Kayla said, splashing him. On New Year's Eve, they stood on the beach watching fireworks over the ocean. Kayla had fallen asleep in their hotel room, exhausted from a day of activities. "Happy New Year," Brianna said as midnight approached. "Happy New Year." Tyler kissed her as fireworks exploded overhead, brilliant and beautiful. "What do you want for this year?" she asked. "More of this. Family, health, love. Simple things that matter." "Simple things that matter," Brianna repeated. "I like that." As the new year began, they made a list of goals. Tyler wanted to write a history curriculum for advanced students. Brianna wanted to open 3 more regional coal enterprises offices. Kayla wanted to write an entire album of songs. They supported each other's dreams while building their shared life. January brought Tyler's vice principal promotion, recognition for his years of dedicated teaching. The raise helped financially, easing stress about future expenses. Brianna's company continued expanding, her reduced involvement proving wise. The new director ran things smoothly, calling Brianna only for major decisions. Kayla's album project consumed her free time. She wrote songs about everything: Her surgery, her mother's memory, her father's love, her stepmother's kindness. Her voice grew stronger with practice, mature beyond her years. In February, on the anniversary of Kayla's surgery, they visited Dr. Johnson for a checkup. The surgeon smiled seeing Kayla's healthy glow. "Your heart is perfect, strong and healed. I couldn't ask for better results." "Thank you for saving my life," Kayla said sincerely. "That's what I do. But you did the hard part. You survived, recovered, thrived." Dr. Johnson signed the discharge papers. "You don't need to see me anymore. Just regular checkups with your normal doctor." The news felt like closure, the final chapter of that difficult year closing. That evening they celebrated at Kayla's favorite restaurant. Afterward, sitting in the garden despite the February chill, they reflected. "A year ago I thought I'd lose you," Tyler told Kayla. "Today you're perfectly healthy, happy, creating art. It's a miracle." It wasn't just miracle. It was Brianna. Kayla looked at her stepmother. "You saved me. Everything good in our life started when you came back." Brianna hugged Kayla. "You saved me too. Both of you. I was successful but lonely, accomplished but empty. You gave me family, purpose, love. That's everything." They sat together as stars emerged, three people bound by love and circumstance and choice. Spring arrived, bringing new growth to Michelle's garden. The roses bloomed spectacularly, more beautiful than Tyler remembered. He and Brianna spent weekends gardening, planting new varieties alongside the original ones. "It's perfect," Brianna said, surveying their work. "A living memorial that keeps growing." "Like us," Tyler observed. "Like us," she agreed. In April, Kayla's school held its spring concert. She performed 3 of her original songs, her voice clear and powerful. The audience gave her a standing ovation. After the concert, several parents approached Tyler and Brianna. "Your daughter is incredibly talented. Has she considered recording professionally? She's 13. Let's focus on school for now." But the seed was planted. Kayla's talent was undeniable. The question was how to nurture it without overwhelming her. That night they discussed it as a family. "I don't want to be famous," Kayla said. "I just want to write songs and share them. Fame seems exhausting." "Then we keep it small," Brianna suggested. "Maybe record an album just for friends and family. Let you create without pressure." "I like that idea." They hired a local studio, nothing fancy. Over the next months, Kayla recorded 12 songs. Her voice, her words, her heart poured into each track. Tyler listened to the final album with tears in his eyes. His daughter had transformed pain into art, loss into beauty, survival into celebration. "I'm so proud of you," he told her. "Thanks, Dad. I learned from the best." Summer arrived with Tyler and Brianna's first anniversary approaching. They planned a quiet dinner, just the two of them, while Kayla stayed at a friend's house. But Kayla had other plans. She worked with Tyler's mother and Patrick to organize a surprise party in the garden. When Tyler and Brianna came home expecting an empty house, they found it filled with loved ones. "Surprise!" Kayla yelled. "Happy anniversary." The party was perfect. Food, music, laughter. Everyone who'd been at their wedding returned to celebrate their first year of marriage. Tyler's mother made a toast. "To Tyler and Brianna. May you have many more years of happiness, health, and love." "Hear, hear," everyone echoed. Later, Tyler and Brianna snuck away to the oak tree, watching the party from a distance. "This year has been incredible," Brianna said. "Best year of my life. Well, tied with the year I married Michelle and the year Kayla was born. You're allowed multiple best years. Life isn't a competition." "Good point." Tyler kissed her. "Here's to many more best years." "Many more," she agreed. They rejoined the party, dancing with Kayla, talking with friends, soaking in the joy of the moment. As night fell and guests departed, the 3 of them sat in the garden. Kayla had given them a gift, a framed photo of the 3 of them from the wedding day. "For your wall," she said. "So you always remember." "We won't forget," Tyler promised. "I know. But photographs help." Kayla yawned. "I'm going to bed. Today was exhausting." After she went inside, Tyler and Brianna stayed in the garden. Fireflies drifted between roses, stars emerged overhead, the summer air was warm and gentle. "I never thought I'd be this happy again," Tyler admitted. "After Michelle died, I thought happiness was over. I'd just exist for Kayla's sake. And now I'm living again. Really living. You gave me that. We gave each other that." Brianna leaned against him. "I was existing too. Working constantly to avoid feeling empty. You filled that emptiness." They sat in comfortable silence, grateful for second chances and new beginnings. Inside, Kayla looked out her window at her father and stepmother in the garden. She thought about her mother, wondering if Michelle could see them. If she was happy knowing her family had healed. Kayla believed she was. Believed her mother's love was still present, still guiding them. She fell asleep with that comforting thought, secure in the knowledge that love never truly ended. It just transformed, grew, found new expressions. The Bennett family had been broken by loss. But through kindness, hope, and love, they'd rebuilt themselves. Different than before, but no less beautiful. Stronger in the broken places. Wiser for having survived. Grateful for every moment of joy earned through difficulty. Their story wasn't about forgetting the past or replacing lost love. It was about honoring memory while embracing the future. About recognizing that hearts, like Kayla's, could be damaged and repaired, emerging stronger than before. Tyler held Brianna close under the stars, in the garden his first wife had created, building a life with his second wife, raising a daughter who knew she was loved by two mothers. Life had brought him full circle, from love to loss to love again. And standing there in the warm summer night, Tyler Bennett finally understood Michelle's final gift. She taught him that love didn't diminish with sharing. That new love didn't erase old love. That the human heart, remarkable and resilient, could expand infinitely. He loved Michelle completely. He loved Brianna completely. Both were true. Both were real. Both mattered. And that was the greatest miracle of all.